What?
Hey everybody, I'm Steph.
And I'm Michael.
Today we're trying
This is
something a
different.
little different. Michael is upstairs. It's because in a couple weeks we're going to have Lucky Duck Games and other publishers want to join in on the chat eventually. So I want to make sure I can get everything going smoothly. And this is kind of a test run to see if it's going all right. It seems to be going pretty well so far.
So I'm a pretend publisher.
Yeah, you're
I see how this is.
yeah, you're the test.
I'm a guinea pig.
You're the guinea pig.
Yeah.
So some news from today. I sent out a Kickstarter blast saying fulfillment update, and I've sent out about 160 packages so far, which is pretty good. And I'm waiting on about 40 left, under 40, so that's great. And, so all's going well with the Kickstarter.
What Kickstarter are you talking about, Steph? I think you should tell everybody.
About what?
What Kickstarter are you talking about?
Oh, my own Kickstarter. I did a calendar for 2021, gaming calendar.
I know what it is.
I know you know.
Some other people might not know what it is.
If you don't know what it is, it's this beautiful calendar right here. It's shipping out now for all the Kickstarter backers.
And there's the link in case you would like to purchase one of these fantastic calendars.
But Michael, see, since anybody can do this, but if you type in the command calendar, it tells you exactly.
But it has to be an exclamation point in front of it.
Yeah, exclamation calendar. And so the Nightbot.
But you're going to put that. You're going to put that. You're going to put that link in the YouTube, correct?
In the YouTube. Sure.
Yeah. Did you do that on your other one?
I don't know.
Of course you didn't, because I was like, I'm going to remind you, and so
I should just put it automatically, so it automatically always puts it into every link on YouTube ever.
I don't know, whatever you need.
Because right now I have calendars for sale, so if you want one, or if you know somebody who wants one, or it's a great gift, you can get them for them.
Fantastic Christmas gift, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm excited.
So is this fantastic Oculus Quest 2.
Oh my gosh.
A fantastic Christmas gift.
It's an expensive Christmas gift though.
Well, see, that is a little bit of an inaccuracy because people think, oh, VR, that's super expensive. No, you can have a system like that for $300.
Okay.
So a lot less than what you would think VR would cost. Now, the calendar is just $15. Much cheaper present, but still awesome.
Still awesome.
Also visually entertaining, just like VR.
True. It is. But it reminds you of board games, which is
absolutely
the difference.
Right.
So today's kind of a special day because my Monday blog was my new to me list, and I had about 60 new games last month, and Michael, helped me by reading most of those rule books, if not all of them.
I didn't read.
Almost.
I didn't read some of them. And matter of fact, some of them that I didn't read made it to your top 10.
Exactly. Because I did get a few demos in with some publishers to try out some new games, and that was really cool. And actually one was basically great enough to make it into the top 10. And Michael and I are going to run through our top 10s. And now that's interesting because I have no idea what Michael picked. I just assumed they're all just like mine, right?
That's right. That's it. They're going to be exactly like yours.
I don't know.
No, they're not going to be like yours.
Come on.
Several of them are going to be there because
for sure.
We played the same games this month, more or less.
Yeah, and we generally like a lot of similar things. Now, I know you rate some of them higher than me, and I rate some of them higher than you. So I think we'll have a similar but different list, and maybe a little bit of a imbalance. Like my 10 might be your 3 or something. I don't know.
Correct.
Oh, hey, Time Roller, welcome to the chat. We are about to start our top 10 games learned in October.
That's right.
And then after that, I was going to run down a few of the games that I did reviews for in the other part of the blog. And I have a bunch of games that I got this week that I am excited to show off.
So I think we should start with your number 10 because you are the star of the show. People don't care as much about my number 10.
Well,
They care
so,
about your top 10.
but then it will end up where you say your number one last.
So how do you want to do this?
You go. You
No,
go.
go.
What's your number 10, Michael? Tell me.
My
It's all new
number
to me.
10. This is new to you because I've never done a top 10 before. So, okay, so interesting thing about me is that I don't generally have a favorite song, a favorite music group, a favorite this, a favorite that. And so I don't usually have top 10 list or favorite, my favorite co-op or anything like that. So it's it can be difficult for me to come up with my top 10, but I did it this time. My number 10.
The time roller says minus 10.
Michael's number 10 is SpongeBob SquarePants Plankton Rising.
Oh, nice.
Plankton Rising, right there. Boom, there's the link.
That's a solid game, and I think that will stay on the shelf for a number of reasons. One, because it's a little bit easier than the other Rising games, at least to get into, because you're not dealing with as many locations, but it's also really colorful.
Yeah. Well, I like the colors. It's very inviting. You know exactly what it is that you're getting. Everything is easy to see on the map. Now, I do like Batman Who Laughs. I do like Harry Potter. And I've never been a big SpongeBob watcher, but my kids loved it.
Yeah.
So
I
mean,
you've seen it. You've seen a lot of SpongeBob.
I've seen way too much SpongeBob. So the theme is not a detractor for me, but I like what it's trying to do. I like the theme that is woven into it, and it makes sense thematically. Yeah. I'm big on theme, as you know.
I know, so. and it does do a good job with the theme, and so
and I love dice.
Yeah, I want to add it to like my gift guide this year because I do think it'd be really great for families, especially people who are already fans of SpongeBob. It's a cooperative game, so it's like it fits really well, and for families. So,
and I had several games. that were probably worthy of being in the top 10, but I'm thinking, which one of these would I rather play more?
That's always how I judge it. Yeah,
barely made it over the line.
There you go. Yeah. My number 10 is the Red Cathedral. This is a super solid game where you are collecting resources and building up parts of this cathedral. And it has a nice rondelle, which I really like. And I'm almost certain this is on Michael's list later on. But if you want to say anything now, Michael, you can.
I love rondelles.
Oh, so, me too.
And I love dice.
And you love dice. It's a dice rondelle type of game, and
resource collection.
Yeah. This was a really strong month of games, so it's really hard to make a top 10 because there were even some below my 10 that I'm like, wow, this is a really great game. So that so many that I learned in October are keepers, and these are just the bare minimum 10. So it's always hard to make a top 10. So.
Yeah, I think there are several that we had this month that would have gotten top 10s in any other month.
Exactly.
Probably any of my, I think probably any of my top 6 or 7 could have made number 1 on any other month.
Yeah. I agree. Like a game that I'm not going to talk. I'll talk about the games that are on the list after because it might be on your top 10 because I do think there are some really strong games that we learned. So.
Agreed.
Yeah, Red Cathedral, really good.
All right, time for my number 9. Well, Time Roller doesn't have a -9. Oh, he does.
he put a number 9. #9.
So my number 9 is Escape from the Asylum. Bam, there's the link right there. I was ready.
You were ready.
So I love escape rooms.
Oh yeah.
But recently I've not, any sort of games like that. But recently. I've just been underwhelmed by a lot of the standard offerings that have been out there. by some of the the well-known titles. Um, some of the unlocks are great. Some of them I just can't get into. Uh, Exits have been problematic recently. Some of the escapes have been problematic. This one is really solid.
I agree.
Um, the story works, the way that they handle the encounters really works,
Yep.
and they don't overstay their welcome.
Right.
You're not sitting there for like 2 hours on a 1 hour adventure and going, this is
Scratching.
miserable.
Yeah.
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 Um,
I
Matter
also
of fact,
I
I
also
mean,
like that there's so many. Like there's part one and part two, but there's five basically scenarios in each part. So you're getting 10 games within this like one game.
yeah, I'm not sure if they're sold separately.
I don't think
So
so, but I'm not
you would get,
sure.
but you get both parts in that one box, and that's 10 escape rooms in one box.
Yeah.
So, or 10 puzzles. I've also, going down a little side path here, I've also really enjoyed I don't remember I think it's called Escape Tales. I really like
Yeah,
that
yeah, yeah.
series of games.
That's board and dice. Yeah.
I've had really good luck with those. With like with low memory, it really working out really well, and so I'm hopeful that that will be the standard for them as well.
Yeah.
Because the other one that we played was really good. What was it? The werewolf. I can't remember, but
Werewolf.
yeah, it was. There were the werewolf in a box or something like that. It was like an '80s thing. I don't
Oh,
know.
oh, oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. That was
And they
that
were in three different
that's
parts.
yeah, that was Mattel. That was what was
Oh,
that?
so I thought that was another Escape Tales that we had played, and I can't remember
Well,
what it
we
is because
did.
it
It
was
was
really good.
The Awakening.
The Awakening, yes. So yeah,
That's the Escape Tales. And
um,
I know another one just came out too, so I definitely want to play
yeah.
that.
And I would think we recently liked adventure games.
Oh yeah, yeah,
The,
yeah.
the the brand is Adventure Games. We started off with the dungeon and got through the first part of it before we put it on hold. And the only reason we haven't come back to it and low memory, we haven't finished low memory, is just because of the sheer number of games that are hitting your review shelf right now. So otherwise, I mean, we've had low memory. We want to get that done with before we forget all the little parts.
I know I
So
forget everything at this point. I don't know. But we actually did just get another adventure game here, which is on my stack to show off. So we can talk about that in a little bit.
sounds good.
My number nine is one that you actually didn't get to play, but it's called Coco Pelli. I think this is on
Co-
Kickstarter now.
Cocoa Pebbles.
Coco Pelli?
I'm cuckoo for Cocoa Belly.
Cuckoo for Coco Pelli. Nice, nice.
Bringing back an old Cocoa Puffs commercial.
Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. So this, I think, is on Kickstarter right now. And
Hi, Mom Gamer.
hi. And it's doing well, or it just finished, I'm not sure, but I got to get in a demo with Travis from Queen Games. It is a new Feld game, but it's like a Feld game in disguise. You wouldn't even know it's Feld if I didn't tell you it was Feld. Like, you wouldn't know. Normally, you can say, oh, point salad, get points here, get points there, do tons of strategies. Not in this. This is very much not that. Now, there are different ways to score points, and there's a whole bunch of cards, and you're only going to use a certain number each game, so there's going to be tons and tons and tons of replay because you're trying to collect these sets, but you're like manipulating other people's sets at the same time, and these cards will give you bonuses. Once you make the set, you'll get the points, but then you lose that bonus, essentially. So you're controlling these different powers, you're trying to make the combos happen, and you're trying to ruin other people's day by playing on their sets to close out their sets so that they don't get their powers anymore, kind of thing. So it's interesting. It's really, really cool. And Michael, I think you're really going to like it.
Yeah, you tend to like those games where you're just like, I've got to do this play to shut that person down. So yeah, a
Yeah.
little bit of so there's a difference between taking advantage of a good opportunity and a take that game. I think what you are explaining is a taking advantage of a good opportunity and not just a sheer take that type
Yeah,
of game.
I don't feel the take that in this game. While it technically can be because you are closing other people's sets out, possibly, but they're also getting a reward. They're getting a point or two, and depending on what happens, you're also freeing up a space on their board because everybody only has 4 spaces. So maybe it helps them in the long run. It's kind of one of those like give and take. It doesn't feel very take that,
Yeah,
unlike
I mean,
so many games.
I think there's a a difference between resource denial, power denial, action denial versus sheer take that. I think that
Exactly.
there is a line there, and it's sort of hard to define, but it's like the whole thing. I know it when I see it. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I agree.
yeah,
And so that's why this game works really well, because there are all these different cards and different things that is happening, but nobody's like gonna like do a take that move on you where you're gonna be like, I'm ruined. Like, there's always something else to do.
well, see, that's the thing. If there's multiple paths to victory, then there's an alternative thing to do.
Right. So.
Like the game that we just played yesterday that we can't really share yet.
Well, I haven't written about it yet, and eventually we'll play it on the stream, maybe with Ken from Rio. But yeah, it's
Yeah, so
it's in the works.
if you do a little homework, you might be able to tell what game it is we're talking about.
It's easy because I took pictures and posted the pictures on Instagram.
Well, hey, that's a reason to visit your Instagram account
Hey,
for
yeah,
people
that's
who
great.
aren't on Instagram, right?
Yeah,
So yeah,
Pumpkin 312.
Pumpkin 312. Spoiler, it's fantastic. But anyway, um,
You're number 8.
all right, I can't do number 8 until Time Roller puts number 8 in the chat.
If Time Roller's still here.
Ooh. Ooh. So, my number 8 is Blue Skies by the
The
Joseph
Joe Huber.
Huber. Well, no, the box says Joseph Huber.
Oh, that's not right.
All right, I've got not only because you know him as
It should just be Joe H.
or Joe H. Steph says it's Joe H. It's going to be Joe H.
That should be what's on the box.
Joe R. or Joe C.
Yes, exactly.
So, I'm going to go ahead and put my link on there because I think Time Roller might not be there. But yeah, it says he's in the chat. I don't know. Anyway,
He's probably busy.
He's probably busy. Too busy to put number 8 in the chat. Anyway, Blue Skies. So it plays really well with 2 players. But I see it working out with 3 and 4 as well because you have to add you have to see what passengers are in the airports and then put your gates down in the right airport at the right time. And I just love games like that where you're trying to figure out what the game is going to do in the next few turns, and you're trying to take advantage of those while denying. Again, it's resource denial for the other team. And even though we got a couple of rules wrong, I still think that we have a good sense of how it should go. Matter of fact, playing it the right way should make it even better.
I agree. So we missed a step where we need to reshuffle all of the discarded cards and an opportunity to discard some cards out of our hand after the government whatever that phase is called. So
I was mostly talking about buying gates out from underneath people, which is what we were doing.
We did that wrong too. Yeah.
That's the main thing I think that's going to make it better because I don't have to worry about you taking all of my gates. A lot of times I would be like, why should I buy this gate for 1 when you could
just buy it
gate for 2 or buy it out from underneath me for 2?
Right,
so
exactly.
What's the point of me getting it? Well, that's why, because
you're not allowed to do that.
You can't do that.
All right. Yeah.
So
That's
yeah,
true.
I like games with an airport and a flight theme. You don't like pick up and delivers. I actually like them. I wouldn't mind a game where you actually pick up and deliver passengers all over the world.
Isn't
This is
isn't
not that, but yeah.
I haven't played the game Planes. Many people don't like the game Planes, but I thought that was like a pick up and deliver game, but maybe not.
I don't know.
It's been a
I
while.
haven't played it yet.
Yeah, I haven't
So
played it either. So I don't know what I'm talking about. um, my number 8, I'm cheating a little bit because it's really 2 games
what?
in one. My number 8, I am combining both of the Boomerang titles that I played. Um, yeah, Boomerang USA and Boomerang Australia. And
And
so
there are
this,
the links for you.
yeah. And so this is kind of also not really fair because I've played Boomerang before and it's essentially the same thing. It's just got a revamp. It's got some pretty new art. And a few rules changes, but not like dramatic. But I actually like the USA a little bit better because there is an added goal of trying to make it across the states for an extra bonus. So that is actually a new feature of the game because it's a new continent. I mean, it's a new,
Yeah, East Coast to West Coast, and you don't have that in Australia. I'm not
right.
sure about Europe because we've not played Europe yet.
Yeah, we haven't played Europe yet, so that will probably be in next month.
Yep.
New to me.
The thing, the thing that I like about the Boomerang titles is that just because you've played Boomerang USA, you have not exactly played Boomerang Australia because it's more than just, oh, hey, it's the same game with a different country or a different continent in the case of Europe.
Yeah.
Um, though Australia is a continent as well, but it's a single country. Never mind.
Yeah,
Um,
that's true.
you know what I mean.
I know what
But
you
yeah,
mean.
it's not just the same game with different locations slapped on. So I think each one of them has
Little tweaks.
little tweaks. Yeah.
Yeah, and if you wanted to check that out, you could check it out on Board Game Arena. You can play the new edition of the Australia game. So it's
And if you
beautiful.
like that, then I would say if you can find all three, get all three.
Yeah, I don't think I'll get rid of any of the new games I just got, and I got them
Yeah.
all. So I really like the game. I love drafting cards. It's one of my favorite mechanics. I love it. And I like trying to push my luck and getting the cards I need. And there's a lot of cool things. And it's very simple. It's one of my favorite Scott Adams games for sure.
I think it works well for two players. However, I would highly recommend putting a dummy third hand, at least a third hand. We haven't tried it with two dummy hands, but I think it would work with that as well.
Yeah, it would.
But I think at a minimum, putting in a third dummy hand is sufficient to make the two-player game really shine.
Yeah, because you're gonna see more cards, and you don't
More
really know what
locations.
the other person's gonna take, and you don't know what's gonna get discarded, that kind of thing. So I
Exactly.
think it's really good. Yeah, definitely add in that extra hand.
Yeah. There was something else I was going to say. Oh, I know what I was going to say. The only complaint I have for the Boomerang titles is that Boomerang Australia comes in a bigger box than the old version, but the score
It's
pads
like
are
so small.
much smaller than the old version.
They're really
It's
small.
amazing. It's amazing they could fit all of that in a really little that what was it, light blue
Yeah,
box
yeah.
for Boomerang Australia. Yeah.
So yeah, the original Boomerang had score sheet that was the size of the box.
Yeah.
The,
And
the
this
the new
one
one is
is
like a
less than
third,
half.
yeah, less
Yeah.
than half. And it's one of those things where like I wonder if they could have just made a dry erase board instead. If I don't know what the cost.
Mm.
I mean, it's probably more costly to do that, but that seems to be the way roll and rights are going these days. To make it everlasting, where you're not going to run out of sheets. I
You don't
still
have to rely on printers. Yeah.
I still have my laminator though, so I'll use it when I have to.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that about you is that you will take your rolling rights and you will laminate at least one copy or multiple copies of each of the maps or score sheets or whatever. And you've got a rolling right box that has nothing but rolling rights, flipping rights, that sort of thing.
Yeah. It's getting really full, and there's a lot more roll and writes coming out. So I'm gonna have to either make the box bigger or condense it a little bit.
Or sub out some games because you've got some really, really old titles in there.
Yeah, but doesn't mean they're less good.
Oh, I didn't say they were less good. However, I'm sure that there are some better ones that that will have fired. All the geek list that says, this
Fired.
game is good.
Yeah.
This game fired that game.
Yeah, that's true.
I think that you could probably come up with a really good list of a lot of those.
That's true. I could make a really long. I'll have to think about that because.
Or an episode where games that fired other games.
But it's like one of those things where Seasons is still better than Everdell.
Well,
so Everdell didn't fire. What?
Well, that's a different episode. That's games that could have fired other games. But
yeah, okay.
That's a totally. So I will take my standard 13% for each.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
So look, you've already sold some Boomerang copies. Mom Gamer says that she would end up buying them now. So
that's awesome.
That's really
I think you should definitely, if you are serious, that's awesome. If you wanted to try it out first, you can on Board Game Arena, see if you like it. And I'm sure it will sell it for you because it is really good.
Oh, absolutely. All right. Just plugging in the links for my number 7. My number 7 is Furnace.
Oh, yeah, that's what I was going to mention. This is like just off the list. It's like just off the list, but I really like
you're
it.
Not like your number 11?
Yeah, it's like 11 or something. It's like no. Right there. It was just there. I'm like, ah.
Yeah, it is. I think your review summed up for me that one word for this game: elegant. I love how the mechanics go. Where I like games that you're bidding. You've got 4 bid chips with a 4, 3, 2, and 1, and you can't. If you put a 4 on there, someone else can't put a 4. If you put a 3, someone else can't put a 3. If you put something on a card, you can't later come back and increase that or decrease it, change it in any way. That is your bid for that card. But if I bid on something and you get it, I get a benefit for it. So let's say there's a card out there that I really want, but I could use the resources on that card too. I might put a 3 on there. So if you get a 4, I win. If you don't put a 4 on there, I still win. So
yeah,
I can make either side work for me. I think that those little mechanisms really can tie this game together for me. Yeah, I love the. It's not a draft, but it sort of is a draft. It's a bidding draft. I love engine building, obviously, and this has got a ton of that. I love resource management, and this has got a ton of that.
Yep.
And so it's got a lot of things that really work for me. And on any other month, this would be so much higher on the list.
In relation to this, I saw a post on Facebook today saying Arcane Wonders has picked it up for the U.S., which I think is a really great, a really great addition for the Arcane Wonders. So, Mom Gamer, don't worry, it will show up in the U.S. I don't know when because I just really saw that they picked it up. So, I do think it's really, really, really nice game.
Really,
and it works really well with 2 players. It has a really interesting mechanic automation for a bot, and
a lot of games with solo bots, with automabots, they don't do a very good job. This one, it's really simple in its execution, but it works. And basically it's just, hey, it's going to place whatever it can randomly. Mm-hmm. It's going to place the lowest disc that it can place. Mm-hmm. And I think that really works, and it makes it so. For instance, if we've already taken multiple, or the bot has already taken multiple, there's a much bigger chance that the next one in line is going to get hit, and that influences our decisions.
Oh, for sure.
I think that's really good.
Yeah. I also played it with 4 players, and it really changes a lot. Because if everybody is quick to take things with their 4, you're like, well, now I can hang on to my 4 and just like.
Exactly. It totally changes things.
It totally changes things. So
because you can only play one of your 4 discs, and if you play your 4, well, now I've got a lot of leverage with both my 4 and my 3.
Absolutely. So going last is often good, but then you might not get the card you really want. So it's like a balance, right? So do you play your 4 early to get the card you know you need? Probably. Or you try and wait it out and see what happens. So, yeah. Yep. That was what? Number 7?
That was my number 7.
It's a good choice. Good choice. My number 7 is Cristallo. Now,
I haven't played that one.
This is actually a solo game. It's beautiful. It's beautiful colors and everything.
See, that's why I haven't played it, because
it's a solo game.
You played it by yourself on the stream.
I did. I did very well on the stream, but it was mostly thanks to everybody who was helping me.
I heard you killed it.
Oh my goodness, I totally crushed it. So there's 2 parts to this game. Like the first part is making these different patterns to unlock the gems from the creatures so that you can release them. And then once you do that, Rainbow gems. Yeah.
I mean, it was designed for you. It's got a wolf.
I know.
You guys see me looking over here.
So
I've got a monitor over here, and so I can see all of the different cards and everything. I'm like, this is made for you.
I know, this game is really beautiful, and all the colors and everything. And so you're trying to make these little patterns and release the creatures from the dragon that has captured them or whatever. And then the second part of the game is you take all the leftover cards that you didn't use and shuffle them with 9 extra cards, and you have to get 1 of each color in order to defeat the dragon. And so I did that, and I did it with extra cards left over, so you get some sort of status depending on how much you have left over or how close you were to releasing, getting all those gems and all that stuff. So I did fairly well. I think my score was 1,800, which is pretty good. I don't know how. I mean, it's but yeah.
Well, here's my question for you. Now that you have beaten it, is it worth replaying again?
Oh, yeah.
Are there different difficulty levels?
There aren't different difficulty levels. I think you just go in and play and see how it goes. Every game will be... You have to shuffle up all the cards, so you don't know how the cards are going to come out. Though there are different, objectives, so I didn't, get any of, the arm. If I get all 3 armors unlocked, then I get a cool bonus. So I didn't get any of that. So there's definitely room to grow in my exploration. But I think it's a really great, solid solo game, and it's very puzzly. So if you like that kind of thing, it's cool.
So Mom Gamer asks, is this available?
It should be. It's coming. If not, it's very soon. It's Deepwater Games. There was a Kickstarter that just got delivered, and then Deepwater picked it up, and so it should be available. And I think it's coming out in a box form. I just have a bag form, so I have it's just in a bag, but I think it's going to be in a box.
So Shreya is wondering what this split screen madness is.
Well, Shay, we're testing out the waters. I'm trying to see if it will work, and I think it will work with the publisher. I just need to make sure to set it all up ahead of time. But actually, Shay, I'm going to recruit you for a testing one random night where you call in and play a game with me where I have the top-down view and make sure it all works with all of the setup and everything.
With all 3 cameras going.
Yeah, we'll play something.
And the screen share.
Yeah, and the screen share. And it's going to be great. It's going to be fine. It's going to be fine.
So, he thumbed us. All right. So, my number 6. You ready for my number 6?
Well, Misty's oh no, separate screens. What do you think happened? I'm curious. He's just upstairs.
I'm just upstairs. I'm showing you off my awesome VR playground over here.
It's nothing up there.
There's nothing. You know why? Because I can roam around in VR and not bump the walls all the time. It's really good. So yeah, this is my office up here. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So confused.
No, I'm not on vacation. I am not in another location. I am literally upstairs
Just
because if I
upstairs.
bang on the floor,
Oh my
you
goodness,
guys
I can
can
hear
hear it just like me.
that.
I can hear it in stereo. It's really good. So yeah. So isn't that just space for more shelves of games?
I like the way you think. But then we'd have to like go all the way upstairs to get the games. We could put the rejects up there, I suppose.
Well, I've
And
got
by rejects I mean Michael's games.
no. So I've got two other rooms upstairs, and actually the landing on the top, I basically call it the fifth bedroom because it
Yeah.
is large enough to put a bed and a closet and everything in.
It is.
It really is. We've just got a bunch of boxes up there right now
Yeah,
because
it's just a
our
storage.
box mountain is like crazy. Um,
Oh.
so in my son's bedrooms, in one of them, I've got a big TV system because he never does stay over. He's in college now, and doesn't ever use that room. My youngest, he comes over occasionally, but in that room, we've got a bookcase that's just filled with expansion boxes that we are reluctant to throw away. Inside his closet, on the top shelf, on
There's
the
so
in the
many
top area of the
expansion.
closet,
Yeah.
it's expansion boxes galore.
Galore.
And we actually use those when we buy and sell games. Sometimes we'll buy games. Like some of you have seen on her Instagram or Facebook stories or something, where Steph took a picture of this mess of Mystic Veil just all over the table because that's how it was in the box. And she put on the post, she says, "Who does this? Who
I
this
was
is
so mad.
insane."
I was like, it was insane. Oh, that was
So we spent some
disgusting.
time just separating everything out,
Especially
and it takes
Mystic Veil
forever.
when the cards are you can't really tell what's in what. They don't do a good job
There's
of
no little
icons or
symbol.
anything on any of the
Right.
cards, and it's just like, oh my god, it was a nightmare for Mystic
Well, they've
Veil.
gotten better putting the card list in the back of they
Yeah,
didn't have the card
that's
list in
true.
one of them, but they did in the other ones. And so that was good. And so we separated everything out and we put them in the expansion boxes. We got them out from my son's closet, pulled them down. And then you actually sold it to somebody who said, "No, I don't need the boxes."
It's like, all right, it'll give me an opportunity to buy another copy of Mystic Veil on the cheap and sell it again.
Yep.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just so
I
funny.
mean, whenever you buy, like we bought Mystic Veil and three expansions for $20. So we've got Mystic Veil and the expansions. So if we can turn it around and give it to somebody else for a good price, sure, we'll do that because we bought a bunch of stuff from somebody.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
Some of the stuff was new to us,
Yeah.
so we kept those and then just sold off the rest just to make shipping worth it.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, I mean,
It's hard. It's harder.
if you're buying
Yeah.
one game or trading one game for one game, it just really is not worth it. I've given
Shipping
these
is
trade requests in all the
expensive.
time. Trade request a $15 game for a $15 game. Guess how much it costs to ship a $15 game? $15. Not
Yeah,
worth it.
not worth it.
So yeah,
I really want to try Beat Saber. Michael, do you have it?
I do not have it yet. I'm waiting for a really good sale on either Steam or the Oculus Store, hoping that it goes on sale during Black Friday, Cyber Week.
Yeah,
But
I want to play that. So whenever you get that.
Misty, this is my toy. This is my new toy, Oculus Quest 2. It's really cool. I mean, this thing is fantastic.
All right, get on to your
Wow, you
number
are so
6.
huge.
That's
All right.
rude. You don't say that to a lady.
I didn't mean it that way. I just mean that whenever, so like I've got my desktop mirrored right on my VR, so it's like it wraps around my face. It's so good. So it's really awesome. So I've been playing a lot of Super Hot, and so even when I've finished the VR version, so now I'm playing Super Hot 2, which is called Mind Control Delete, but it's like right there in front of me. It's not a VR game, but I've got the monitor right there, and so it's it mimics how the VR experience is. It's really good.
Oh, he
Yeah,
had
I've
to.
got the.
He had to. He
I
had
do
to
have
like.
the Elite
He had to
stuff.
go to like his college, his son's college, to go get it.
Well, I mean, I could have just ordered it and gotten it, but I was already down there seeing him in Chattanooga, and so I decided, why not pick it up? It was here, and when I got it, the Oculus rep was there, and he said, "Can I take a picture of you holding this?" So sure, why not?
Jovi.
Maybe he thought I was Bon Jovi. It would not be the first time. So yeah. My number six.
Yes.
This might this
Games.
might be a surprise to you.
Yes.
It is Pandemic Legacy Season Zero.
Wow. That is
My
lower
number
than I
six.
anticipated, but
That is probably lower than you thought.
but it doesn't
Uh,
actually surprise me because we've been having a rough go of it. So,
well, not just that. This has. I mean, I can't emphasize this enough. This has been a fantastic month for new games. I think
right.
a lot of publishers waited to drop all of these bombs on Essen time, right?
Yeah.
Because I mean, they waited for months and months and months while all the pandemic stuff was going on. They sort of we did the same thing with our warehouse expansion. Plus, NBC is has gone short staffed for a while because of the pandemic. They're still on lockdown out there in California. Um, but it's not a really good economic climate for games. But at some point, you just have to release what you've got. So I think Essen was where a lot of this stuff dropped, and a lot of fantastic games are coming out all at once, and it's really good. So, um, yeah, Pandemic Legacy Season Zero. I loved seasons one and two. I don't think that this is a bad playing experience at all, because I think that if you liked season one and two, you will also like season zero. Um, I love the theme because the spy theme appeals to me because of
Yeah. Reasons.
my military background. Um, um, I, I part of me part of me likes the fact that okay, so whenever we play season one and two, we could sort of tell what was going to give us points by the end. We can sort of tell what's going to give us points by the end on this one, but every time we make a decision that we think is going to help us, it hurts us. And every time we do a decision we think is going to hurt us, it helps us. A part of me, a small part of me likes that we can't anticipate it, but a larger part of me is like, that doesn't make sense. That decision doesn't make sense, and they're gonna end up hurting us in some cases, no matter what we do.
Mm.
Like there was one of them that I think we picked the worst decision possible, and we got the best possible outcome, and vice versa. I think we picked the best possible choice on one of them, and we got the worst possible outcome. So it's almost as you don't ever want to give your legacy game players the feeling of a lack of control. You want them to be able to at least control their destiny somewhat. So yeah, I'm a little torn on this. I think it had the potential to be a little higher on the list, but again, this has been a really good month.
Right. And I think that we're not done with it
We're
also.
not
So
done with
we
it. We're only
don't
halfway done.
know. Yeah, we're halfway done and we'll do that tomorrow if you're interested in being spoiled. We'll be playing probably most of Saturday. Um, so I mean, yeah, it's a little bit higher on my list, but spoilers, I guess.
Oh, so it's there. You're admitting that it's actually there.
Yeah. So we'll talk about it in a minute.
In a minute.
My number 6 is Dinosaur Island Raw and Right.
Oh,
Raw. This was another one that I joined in on a live stream with Man vs. Meeple, Jeremy Howard, and Kira. And we had Brian Lewis, the designer, teaching us.
that's
It's
another one I have not played.
I know. And it's really, really, really great. I think it fires. This is another one of those games that fires something else. It fires the Welcome to Dino World, in my opinion. This is more streamlined. It's easier to understand. It's easier to get things done.
I'm telling you, it's an episode waiting for you right
It's
there.
waiting for me.
And it doesn't have to be top 10. It could be
Just things that
just an
fired.
episode, games that fired other games.
So Matt showed up. Did someone say spoilers?
Well, he felt his ears burning when we said spoilers. Right?
Yeah, right. So yeah, the roaring, right? If you're a fan of Dinosaur Island, I think this will be really great. I got a flying around, it's bothering me.
Oh no.
It's all right. So it gives me that same feeling. You're using the same cool dice, and you're rolling these dice and drafting dice and taking actions, and it's really, there's a lot to do, and it's fast and exciting. It's fun. I really, really like it. I'm looking forward to it. This was just a prototype, print and play sort of thing, so it's in the works. I know the Kickstarter did really well, and I look forward to seeing that final production.
When we get it, we can play it on the live stream.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yep.
Of course we will.
Yep.
Yep. Number 5.
Number 5. My number 5 is Eon's End Outcasts.
Wow.
So, yeah, we actually...
I have no idea what your top favorite games are.
You have no idea?
I know one of them. 2 of them.
There's one of them that you will know, or you will agree with when I get there. You don't even know.
I don't even know.
And that might have actually told you.
Okay.
So, Eon's End Outcasts, and again, on almost any other month, it would have been right at the top. I almost feel bad giving this one of the top 10 ratings, because if you like Eon's End, you're gonna love Outcast. I mean, it is
It's more content. It's more content.
It's more content, and with this one, it's a campaign. So you play the first adventure in this, which we've only played the first adventure, and then the next, and the next, and the next. Then you take all that content and then you throw it into
the big box of Eon's End.
The big box, and then you can have tons of randomized content, and you can make up your own campaigns and all of that, because this what?
Matt.
Oh, The Shining. You don't know. It could be there.
It's not there.
So, what was I saying? What was the other Eon's End game that had
New Age?
It was the New Age?
I think so.
Excuse me. I believe either this or that will give you the rules to continue on with random campaigns.
Yeah.
Now, you don't necessarily need this. You could just, find the rules online and go, oh yeah, I could do that. But there's treasures and stuff that can be gained that you can use. And I think that, you would need the game, the one or the other game for that. The New Age.
I would go for
Outcasts.
New Age before Outcast.
Chronologically, that's how it came.
Right,
So,
but even still, I would choose New Age probably before Aeon's End base.
well, you fell in love with Eon's End because of Legacy.
Oh, I know.
And
I
then you
saw
got
a post today
everything.
on the solo board game on Kickstarter, and they're like, I love Aeon's End, but I like the Legacy, and people were like, maybe. So I'm like,
Not maybe.
well, we also came in through the Legacy, so we automatically have a love for it. But people say it starts out really easy, and you're not, and you kind of already know all that and stuff. I don't know how the solo game goes at all, so I wouldn't really know. But I was like,
Well,
I love the Legacy.
We didn't mind it starting out slow because we were noobs.
Exactly. That's why I was like, I don't even remember that. But I guess if I went back now and played it again, maybe it would feel like that. I don't know.
Yeah. But I don't feel like I have to go back and experience Legacy again. And
No.
we have our custom characters in our campaign, big, huge mega box.
Yeah.
And we can play them anytime, which is
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah, that is good.
So,
All
and
right.
play them the way that we created them.
Yeah. No, that's good. What are we on? 5?
Steph's number 5.
Steph's number 5. Hey, we already talked about it because Michael had it earlier in his list. Whatever. Is
Whatever.
Escape from the Asylum. This I rated a little bit higher than you. I thought,
Yes, you did.
it's really innovative puzzles in there, and I'm excited to play it further. I think it's definitely one of the best escape the room type games that we've played. We've had a lot of doozies that weren't great. Then we've had some that were. We like Escape Tales, for example. But just I really think there's something special about Escape the Asylum. So
Yeah, I mean, even two different escape games from the same publisher with the same system. Some are hot, some are cold. Like I really like what they did with Scooby Doo, Escape from the Mansion. I think it is.
haunted,
It's Haunted Mansion or
yeah,
whatever it is. And did not enjoy The Shining, which is the same exact system. A lot of it just, I think a lot of it is just the puzzles that are in there. I think a lot of them try to get too cute and or they hide things in visual puzzles that there's no way some people are going to see. So, give me logic based puzzles and I'll love them all day long.
yeah.
Not, oh, hey, you have to anchor this on the bookcase and turn it around. Yeah, and it didn't work. Nobody agreed that it worked. We got the answer for one of them, and it just didn't work. This one's great.
Okay. Um, yeah. So
Matt is asking what games made the top of the list. I guess you'll have to look at the YouTube whenever Steph uploads it later this afternoon.
more likely he'll come back to Twitch and watch the replay.
Probably.
Shrey.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw Shrey. I'm gonna lower me a little. I don't know. I didn't do anything different. I don't know. Maybe I'm just talking
Sounds
directly
okay to me.
at it. I don't know. I don't know. I gotta talk slower and lower.
No, you're just too loud.
I know. All right, what's your number 4?
Oh yeah, I've got to type this in. My number 4, and again, this would have made number 1 on
I
almost
know
any other
most
month.
of these would have made number 1 on like February or March when we're not playing like big heavy hitter games.
Shay says you are enthusiastic.
What else is new?
So this has actually already been talked about from yours. My
Nice.
number 4 is the Red Cathedral because
Nice.
dice, rondelles, resource collection, building up the pieces of the cathedral, denying things from other people, getting bonuses for dice, which sort of gives you an engine sort of thing going on.
Yep.
The different workers on the corners of the boards. I can't remember what the craftsmen or whatever they're called. When you move your die around, then you're going to activate, the guy in the corner of the board. You could choose one or two decisions for that. I think that there's just if I could give 2 words for someone that wanted to know give me 2 words to make a really, really good board game of whatever type. 2 words, interesting decisions. If you can make a board game that has interesting decisions, your board game should do well.
Yeah.
So I think that is the primary thing a board game needs: interesting decisions. You don't want the game to play itself. You don't want it to be too random. And you don't want there to be one path to victory. You want interesting decisions.
Hey, Justin, welcome to our chat. We are going through, if you guys are just joining us, we're going through our top 10s that we learned in October, and we're currently at Michael's number 4, which
My
is
number 4.
the Red Cathedral.
However, so I am Justin's number 1 because he said something really nice about me on Facebook the other day. I just want to say that everything that you say is reciprocated completely back to you, my friend. Even though I called you Jeremy the other day. It's so horrible. But no, you mentioned me on Facebook, and I really do appreciate it. It makes me feel it literally made my day. So thanks for that.
Yay! Red Cathedral, we love it. Play it.
Love it.
Love it
Play
with
it.
us.
Get it.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yes.
Great Euro. What else? Okay, my number 4, which was lower on your list, is Pandemic Legacy 0. It's kind of shocking because I thought it was going to be number 1. But then we ended up playing through like 6 or 7 more games after. And it went down a little bit. It doesn't make the game less good. It's just, I had my hopes high. Really, really high.
Well, we don't want to give the impression that's a bad game. It's not bad at all.
It's number 4. That's on a list of 60.
On a list, well, not only is it a list of 60, again, we can't emphasize this enough. It is a month that has so many fantastic games. This would have made number 1 on many different months.
Exactly.
Matter of fact, I'm curious to go back and look at your Legacy Season 1 and 2 months just to see what the competition was.
Yeah.
Because I don't think I think I enjoyed those more than 0, but I think that the competition might have even been less in those months. It's just a really rough month if you want to be on top.
I agree. No, there's a lot to like about the game, and I obviously I recommend it. I mean, you're getting a lot of game. Alexa's talking to me.
What is she? And now you made her talk again.
I don't know, but yeah.
So hi Quicksand, hi Dyson Man.
Hi everybody. Oh, Quicksand got her calendar today. Thank you. She said freaking beautiful. Awesome. That's what I love to hear.
The calendar, and then if you want to purchase a calendar that Quicksand has, then you can order it from this link right here that in the chat. And just in case you're listening to it on YouTube, and if for some reason that Steph doesn't put it on her YouTube channel, it's stephshop.ecwid.com.
Yes.
So, Justin asked, does the story work well for Pandemic?
Oh, me?
Well, this is your show. I was going to let you answer it.
Well, you're the story man. I'm not good with story. I mean, if I had to say so, I would say yes, but I don't know left or right, so I don't think I'm the one to answer that one.
No, I think the story really does work. Again, I think that whenever we try to do what we think the story wants, it penalizes us. And whenever we do poor decisions, we end up getting accidentally rewarded for it. Not too sure I like how that is going. However, is it thematic? Yes. Do the new legacy elements make sense? Yes. I think are the penalties appropriate for not doing the actions? Mostly yes. I think that there was one month that we missed doing an objective by this much, and if we had not drawn the wrong cards off the bottom of the deck, then we would have won, and it would have made everything so much easier. As it was, we didn't even get partial credit for it. We just got doom.
We got doom. It was doom.
We got doom.
And Matt's not even in the chat to confirm, but it was just like, it was just.
And that didn't bother me as much as the other stuff. But does the story work? Yes. Should you get it if you enjoyed Pandemic Legacy Season 1 or 2? Absolutely, yes.
Yeah. But I don't think it, at this point, we're only at the end of June, going into July.
We've only lost 1 month, though. So the month that we sort of flubbed it a little bit, the one that I just now spoke about, that was considered an acceptable win.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, that's a horrible loss.
It was a horrible, horrible acceptable
We have
win.
bad things on the board permanently now because of that specific adventure. And
I'll get it. Sold.
Cha-ching.
Cha-ching.
No, totally. It's totally worth it. And if Steph and I had had time, then we probably would have joined your Clank Legacy adventure, which we need to buy that, I think.
Yeah, I think
So
so.
we need to ask you what you think about Clank Legacy
Most people
because
love Clank Legacy that
we're
I've heard. So
so Justin just started. I don't know if you saw his Discord chat, but he is organizing a Clank Legacy game, and I think they just played it. So I'm curious to know how it went, because I too would love to play Clank Legacy. I just, structured times are not good right now.
really not.
Unstructured times probably also not good right now.
Yeah,
You're just
agreed.
slammed busy. Yeah.
I am slammed busy. Yeah, maybe come end of December, early January. I just need to get through the next couple weeks. November is pretty crazy, but at least most of my Kickstarter is fulfilled. So
Yep.
I just need to
Yeah, you
schedule
got
out
the
a bunch
labels
of
on.
things. I need to start scheduling like the game nights with people and all that stuff. So
So, Quicksand, what says, what do you feel is the biggest difference between legacy and campaign games? So, legacy games, I think, you whatever you do on the board will permanently affect the rest of the games that you play. Now, that's also true of campaign games, like for instance, one of my favorite games ever, Pathfinder adventure card game.
ooh yeah.
Um, However, you are not permanently changing cards. You are not permanently changing the board like you do in games like Gloomhaven or Pathfinder. I mean, not Pathfinder, Pandemic Legacy. So with the legacy games, there's a lot of card ripping and things like that. I had planned on doing Warehouse 13 legacy game, assuming we can get the license extended, in which if you if you lose an artifact in episode 1, when you're playing like episode 7 or 8, that artifact could come back and bite you. Um, but again, is that more campaign or is that more legacy? Well, a lot of it depends. Campaigns are often replayable. Legacy games are not. So a lot of times I don't feel bad about damaging components in a legacy game because I know that once the surprise is gone, then you can't really come back and play it again anyway.
Yeah,
So
I like that you're like writing on the boards and you're making your own thing happen. You're customizing it the way you want to, and I think that's kind of fun. That like Pandemic Legacy Season 2, I made all my characters after the 100, which is awesome. I'm like, oh my god, this is so great, and so yeah.
And so you're not about the theme, yet you wanted to thematically make these like the 100. And similarly with this, you named them all
Alias.
characters from Alias, even though you're not you don't go for thematic games, but you do.
But
But
I
you
do.
don't. But you do.
Welcome to the chat, Charlotte. So glad you got your calendar and coasters today. That's
Yep,
exciting.
yep.
I know you're very excited for them. Hopefully you don't hate the coasters. I think they came out pretty good, and you ordered in time because I did sell out.
She totally sold out. So um, I will use her rainbow coasters, but I'm afraid that there's none left except for maybe a couple of them that accidentally hit the floor underneath the table.
Oh,
And
we've got
I'm
some
gonna keep
around,
them because they're good.
but also there were
They're
some
just
defected ones that we kept also.
they're just not as thick as your Carcassonne tiles. That's not to say that yours are bad. They're just super thin and not what you were expecting. You were
Yeah,
expecting
I was
the super
expecting
thick
thick.
ones.
Yeah,
Yeah. And the next ones hopefully are. And we
yeah.
could sell those for a little bit more.
Yeah,
So yeah.
but these ones work, and so they're still good. I mean, they still
They're
work.
still good. Yeah.
They are coasters still.
They are still coasters. And they're gaming related coasters, which makes them even better.
Yes, agreed. So I definitely want to look into getting some different ones for the future because people seem to like the coasters, and
Randy says they're nice coasters. Well, that's good.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad you like them.
So was that your number 4?
That was my number 4. You're on 3.
I'm on 3. Oh, this one you don't you will not be able to guess, I don't think. Yeah, the coasters did actually sell out.
So this is my coaster that I was selling for $1 each. And
And
somebody
yeah,
bought like 14 of them, so that a lot of them went to like
you,
that
you had a
order.
couple of you had a couple of big purchasers of coasters. So that I think maybe they just wanted to, be able to pass them out to their gaming group friends or something. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Which is fine.
But
I mean, they are pretty. They're colorful, so you could just leave them around wherever you need a
yeah.
coaster.
Well, I mean, if you get good reviews on this, maybe you go ahead and do one of these every single year.
Yeah.
And then you
Do
could
a
have
different
a
picture. Do different coasters.
Yep,
Different
absolutely.
pictures.
Yep. Always colorful though, because
Always colorful,
that's you.
obviously.
So my number 3, you will never guess because it is a game that is new to me, but not to you. Now do you know what
Oh,
it
I
is?
can guess. I can guess. I can guess. Not alone.
No, it is not. Actually, I think I learned that in September.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Uh, so Justin says put samples in the calendars. She is actually putting sample calendars in game orders. So if you purchase a game from her, she's putting the 2020 calendar in with those game orders. And so you get the last couple of months for free. And hey, if you like it, you could get the 2021 calendar if you order.
Yeah.
If someone can hit
If you like.
exclamation point calendar, you can find out how to order. So no, it's not. It's not alone. What do you think my number 3 is?
Well, if you played it without me, and it's not alone. I thought it was not alone.
I didn't say I didn't play it without you.
Oh, you played it with me.
Yes, but it is new to me, but not to you. Now you might get
Oh.
it.
What did we
Oh,
play? What did we play?
it was an unfair game.
Oh, it's unfair. Like,
It was unfair.
no,
Yeah. So
this deserves to be higher.
yes, it does deserve to be higher. And in any other month, it would have probably been the number 1. I cannot state this enough.
Yeah.
So yeah, unfair. It's fantastic. I think so. The reason that I played this is because we had to play the ABDW expansion, which again I think should have been the ABCD expansion for reasons that we've talked about. So and yeah, Charlotte for popcorn reasons. Yeah, that's why we love unfair. So it's a surprisingly solid game. Not only do I love the mechanics in this game, I love anything theme park related. I played through Roller Coaster Tycoon 1, 2, and 3. I have Planet Coaster, and I'm playing through all of those scenarios. Both of these on the PC, and they're absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
So I love anything amusement park related. I would go to amusement parks every weekend if we had one close.
I would too.
Some idiots in the late '90s closed down Opryland, paved it over, and put a shopping mall there. Worst decision I think this city has ever had
Yeah,
in
that's not
Nashville.
good.
So yeah, I worked at Opryland when I was in high school, and it was an awesome experience. And now it's gone. So I would go to amusement parks all the time if we had one close. So yep. So
Um,
unfair. Just has some solid mechanics in it. It's got all of the purchase drafting and engine building and bonus chasing and private goals and public goals that I just absolutely love.
there's a lot to love about Unfair.
Yep.
Comment from Of Dyson Men. Unfair, nice. I'm streaming the new expansion decks this weekend. So if you missed our stream, you could get to Dyson Men this weekend.
Yep. Absolutely.
It's really good. Highly recommend it. Love the new expansion decks. Definitely one that will stay on the shelf forever because
And it's
It's great.
modular. I mean, it's you can always play something new. Let's say you've played with the Ninja Pack before, you've played with the Vampire Pack before, but you've not played with those two together. It's a
Exactly.
totally different experience than
Yep.
playing with, for instance, Ninja and Pirate. So you should absolutely. I mean, it's got a lot of replayability in it, and obviously interesting decisions, which I love. So,
Yeah.
yep.
So good. Makes
So
sense.
good. And like I say, it's not going to be on your list. I knew our lists were going to be different. And specifically, if for no other reason, that.
Right. Justin's like, maybe I'll buy it. I hate you.
I hate you. How quickly things turn around in 24 hours. First you love me, then you hate me.
No, but who doesn't like the theme of theme parks? It's awesome. It's so much fun.
Well, it is a theme park.
My number three, I'm guessing, is either your number two or one, but we'll see.
We'll
It
see.
it is paleo.
Paleo. Let me put that link in there. Ta-da!
Ta-da! Number three is paleo.
Paleo.
Cooperative survival game. Tons of mods that you can play. Tons of replay value here. I only anticipated getting more difficult with each and every level that we play. We've only on the stream we played the first tutorial, and the Hansum Gluck guys were like, "Nice job, pat, pat, pat." I'm like,
You just won the tutorial.
I'm like, fine. I won't be proud. Whatever. And it's just there's something unique about it. It's like what people ask me what you compare it to, and I wasn't really sure. Michael said kind of reminds him of Robinson Crusoe. It's not as punishing, and it's easier to get into than Robinson Crusoe. So it's definitely more streamlined than that, but it does kind of give you that same survival feeling.
Yep. Robinson does not have as much deck building mechanic as this has.
Oh, thank you for
Um,
subscribing. Where's my little dude? I gotta get
Ooh,
my dude.
I don't have
Where
any
is
little
it? You
dudes.
can keep talking. I gotta get my dude.
However, I have
Oh,
some
it's way
dry
over there.
roasted peanuts here. I'll shake the dry
Yay!
roasted peanuts.
Ah!
So, yeah, I love co-ops. So I love co-ops and I love deck builders. So this really is a solid game. So, and I'm not going to say where I've got it rated or if I've got it rated at all.
I'd be really surprised if it wasn't uh, in your rating at all. So, but yeah, I think it's definitely a keeper. One that anybody who likes cooperative games will really enjoy. I mean, even it's so hard because I was once that person that hated co-ops, right? And so this game is interesting because everybody has their own decisions to make and when to help other people. You really have to work and communicate as a team to make it happen. And so it does a really good job of, doing that. And I'm very excited for this game. And I know it's going to be a huge hit. I think tons of people will love this game.
I've actually converted several people into loving co-ops. People who hated co-ops would not even give it a chance, or had given it a chance, and are like, "No, these are horrible," because one person dominates all the discussion, and you can't make your own decisions, and there's not a clear decisive winner, things like that. I have won you over to co-ops. I've won my lead playtester over to co-ops. I think that, and you would expect someone as talkative and I don't know what's the right word I'm looking for. Someone who is as hard to convince as I am sometimes. um, how someone like me would allow you to make your own decisions, and I would just not alpha the game. I understand that if I'm going to do that in a co-op game, it's going to make it terrible for everybody. So what I do is I lay out all of your options and let you make the decision. Otherwise, I might as well just be playing a solo game. And then it's fun. It's not as much fun as if I allow everybody to make their own decisions. That makes it much more fun for me and for you. So I intentionally don't alpha game it.
Randy
So
said, I got my wife into gaming via co ops. That's awesome. It makes me
that's the way
happy
to
to
do
hear.
it.
Yeah, it's good. That's, it's fun to work as a team. It's fun, to get to succeed at something or even lose and
Yep.
try again and maybe succeed the second time. Um, there's something nice about that. Pathfinder all the
Yep.
way.
So we're supposed to sing a tune.
I know. I didn't have anything prepared.
And I don't know if we can actually sing a tune with delays and everything going on with the split screen.
I don't know. Is there a delay on your end? I don't know.
Well, I mean, whenever I bang on the floor, it sounds like ba don't. And so the things I sing will be like a half beat behind you.
It's the end of the world as you know it, and I feel
And feel
fine.
fine.
Do, 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 do.
Corzy
It's
says we'll have an
that's
echo.
when it starts
Only
with
if
an earthquake, birds, snakes, and airplanes. You have any bruises, not afraid.
Yeah, I don't know the I don't know all of the verses.
Wow.
I've basically got the chorus and that's it. Despite being an REM fan, I don't know all of the all of the in between lyrics. So anyway, love REM.
But not enough.
I love REM. It's just there's a lot of lyrics spoken really quickly, and I've never taken the time to
No,
memorize them.
I don't know the
It's
lyrics.
the end of the world as we know it.
I know like bits of the lyrics throughout.
That's the thing. Yeah. So apparently you don't like them enough.
I don't.
Busted. All right.
I
You should
definitely don't.
refund.
I know that I don't. That's the difference. You're like, I like them. I'm like, I don't.
You should refund Justin his money because we were poor.
We were poor. I don't know how
We
to do
were poor.
that.
You need to figure that out.
I gotta sing a song. That's what we gotta do.
Uh, why har? There's so many songs
Songs.
about rainbows. See, I've got a delay, so it's like really
All
weird.
right, you sing a
Why not?
song, and then I'll sing a song, or
Uh,
sing a lyric, and then I'll sing a
just in
lyric.
one show tunes.
Show tunes.
Yeah, that's all you.
Live in living color, let me take you for a ride. Yes, I'm live in living color. I can't live in black and white. Someday. Does
So
anybody
Randy
know?
says it's not delaying on stream like we think. It's not that it's not that the that it's delaying on stream, but so like when I hear it, I want to slow down. And so if I do that, then it's gonna cause delays just in my brain. Okay,
Oops.
so like okay, the one thing so I've gotten to sing the national anthem at two Major League Baseball games. Um, And the one thing that they do not prepare you for is the bounce back from the speakers. So we start singing, "Oh, say, can you?" And as soon as we get to "can," we start hearing, "Oh, say, can you?" Do you know how hard it is to sing the national anthem with someone singing it 3 seconds late? It's nearly impossible. All of a sudden, and no one warned us about this. All of a sudden, we are dead focused on Reed, the conductor, and we're watching his hand do his conducting and trying our hardest to stay on track. And it is until you try to do it, it's impossible. So what I want you to do is I want you to start singing the national anthem the next time it's about to come on.
Oh, say, can you see
Yeah. So as soon as it's about to start on the TV, you need to try to sing it. It's impossible. Yeah. It's
Stray figured out how to refund his points.
oh, that's good because Shrey is moderator. Work around it, you're pros. All right. So Steph,
I'm living color.
start singing it, and then I'm going to sing it, and it will throw you off. I guarantee it. Do it. Start.
Oh, say, can you
Oh, say,
see by
can
the
you
dawn's
see
early
by the
light
dawn's
what so
early
proudly
light
we
what
hailed
so proudly
when
we
the
hailed?
twilight
See,
was
see,
gleaming?
you want to delay, don't you? You don't. You start losing that sense of timing on your
I was
breaks.
trying. I was doing
I
okay.
know, and it's super. I know, but like when your breaks happen, you don't know how long those are supposed to be, and then you wait for me, and then you go, "Oh, I'm not supposed to wait for him," and then you start up again.
Yeah.
I could tell it's a struggle to have to do.
Yeah.
Oh, I could totally sing that song. I'm gonna have to dig up my
It's
VHS
like
tape.
row, row, row your boat, row, row, row.
No, no, it's not. No, it's like row. It's worse
Row
than
that
that because
boat
it's not
down that
exactly.
stream. Row that boat.
No, no, because it's not exactly on the beat. It's off beat, and it really throws you unless you're prepared for it. And so, yeah. Anyway, Berman approved.
Ah!
So anyway, yeah, I'm gonna dig that out of the vault. I need to get it changed to digital and then play it. You get to see what I look like when I was 19 years old. It's really good. Anyway, what is your number three?
Is paleo.
Oh, we already did your number three, didn't we? We did your number three.
We
We
talked about
need
paleo.
we need my number two is what we
Is it
need.
paleo?
Michael's number two. Oh, here we go. I'm typing it in right now. So what do you think it is? You think it's
Uh,
paleo, right?
that or my number one.
It's possible. It is Lost Ruins of Arnak.
Oh.
Oh,
Oh.
so we did not have any of them line up unless your Lost Ruins of Arnak was right here.
It is not.
It is not. Well, we didn't have any of our number 10. And that's funny because I played most of the games that you played with the exception of what? Cristallo and Cocoa Pebbles
And roaring right.
and Roar and Right. Not Roar and Right. So, yeah. Bye, Justin. Lost Ruins of Arnak, yes, fantastic. We had a prototype version of it that we had to unfortunately send on, so we can't play it until we get the real thing. But it is really solid. It's got many paths to victory. You can explore and cards will come out and your deck building and engine building and it's got again all of the things that I like. So yeah,
So good. It's so good.
yeah. I'll always love me a solid Euro, especially if it's got those sort of mechanics in there. So yeah.
Yeah. Might be talking about that in a minute.
And we're probably gonna be talking about that in a minute. Just gonna guess because I know where they came on your list. You just don't know where they came on my list.
Yeah. All right.
So
Are we doing my number two?
yes, we are.
My number two is Aeon's End Outcast, which showed up earlier on your list somewhere down there. I don't know.
Solid.
Love it. Always
Love
want to
it.
play more Aeon's End. It's always an exciting game and one that I'm happy to play more of. So
Well, you called it Eon's End, and then you called it Aeon's End.
I don't
Maybe
know.
you'll call it Aeon's.
Aeon.
Aeon.
Aeon. It's great. I don't know what else to say. I feel like we talked about it a lot, but we've always always talked about it a lot because we really speak highly of this game.
Well,
And
like I say, it's if you like Eon's End, you're gonna like Outcasts because it is more of that.
yeah,
Um, the end game bosses, they always feel different. Like one of them's going to always be difficult to beat. One of them is always going to be easier to beat. One of them is going to provide a challenge that the other ones do not. I think the one that we had this bunny rabbit with these ears with mouths on them, and if you don't keep the mouths back, then they're going to come out and do damage. You got to keep them, those little ear mouths chopped back, so to speak, and kill them off. And it's different than something that will poison your decks, or it's different than something that will eat the stack piles or something like that.
yeah, it's really good. I mean, we haven't even really gotten into it. We just played the first game of the campaign, which I'm sure the campaign gets a little more deep and something else is going to happen. And, the story will unfold a little bit and we'll see what happens. I'm excited
And
to play it more.
if we didn't have a bunch of games on the review shelf, and if we weren't in the middle of Pandemic Legacy Season 0, we probably would have blasted right through the campaign
Yeah, like we did
and
with the other
played every bit of
ones.
it. Yep. And that's the only reason we haven't, is because we decided, okay, we have
So
to choose
many.
one of these to go through. What are we going to choose? We're going to choose Pandemic Legacy Season 0. And the reason we chose that is so you could decide where to put that on this list.
Mm,
And that's why we played it the last day of October, right?
yeah, basically.
It was the last day of October.
Just to make sure. Make sure.
Yep.
And it's good
And
that, because
now,
it probably would have been my number one otherwise, so
yeah. So isn't it good that we played halfway through it? So now you know.
now I know.
Now you know. So my number one, Michael's number one. What
Paleo.
do you think it is? Oh yeah, it's definitely paleo.
I'm like, how is it not on
Well,
your list? It has to be number one.
it has to be number one. Well, it was really difficult to pick this versus Lost Ruins of Arnak
You're
versus
blurry.
Unfair. Yeah, the only way to clear this up usually is to
Wave
is to
around. Wave around.
no, well, no, I can
Wash.
actually turn
Wash.
off my video and turn it back on a lot of times. Nope, that didn't clear it up. I am really blurry. It just doesn't want to.
Doesn't want to focus on you at all.
I'll lean back here. I'll let it figure out where I am.
I'll talk about
Anyway,
paleo in the meantime.
yeah, you do that while I look at that. I've got your little camera cleaner that I use on my VR goggles. So yeah, it's not really doing. And this is again one of those awesome webcams. It's just not focused. So yeah, we're gonna get up close and personal.
Oh my
Um,
goodness.
yeah, Paleo is fantastic. It's got all the deck building that I love. It's got the co-op stuff. It's got a graveyard. Charlotte loves the graveyard. The little sled with a skull on it. So that's pretty fantastic. So yeah, it's got just a lot of mechanics that I love. Again, it was hard to choose one of those games, and I knew Paleo was not on top. I tossed around the Lost Ruins or Paleo, Lost Ruins or Paleo, and so I decided to be different. So chose Paleo. Yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
Yeah, no, it's
Um,
really, really great. So I know it will be a lot of people's like wish list for the holidays, wish list for, giving it for gifts and stuff and all that. It's gonna be high on people's list because Hans and Gluck, they know what they're doing. They always have solid games. I'm always excited to play the Hans and Gluck game, no matter what. Marco Polo, Palace of the Carrara. I mean, all of them. What they have so many amazing games. Hawaii. I don't even know. Stone Age. I
I've
don't know.
not played Hawaii.
They're all like over there. Oh, you need to play Hawaii. It's so good. It's really
Tom
good.
Vassell threw it in the trash. That's what.
Oh,
That's all I know about Hawaii is that Tom Vassell threw it in
yeah,
the
he's
trash.
wrong. He's wrong about that. So that is a review that
I think, and then he picked it up and then he threw it off the house or something like that, and it was.
Yeah. No. No, definitely no. But yeah, Hansum Gluck just always great. Obviously, Carcassonne.
Hi, CCJ.
Welcome. Yep. And
Is my blurriness fixed? I got to sort of look over here.
yeah, it's okay. It's fine.
My hair needs to be fixed. I'm starting to get.
Want me to bring the scissors up?
That
It's the
would
Steph
scare me
special.
right now. That would really scare me. No. You said you don't have to worry about that. You just like let it all.
My
Let
hair
your
is like a
just
hot
hang.
mess. It's just like it's always bothering me.
Well, you had it in a braid the other day, and it
It's easy
looked
to maintain
like
when it's in a braid. That's why it's often in a braid.
well, it looked like it had the hair had just exploded out of your braid, so it was like a hot tangled mess in a braid. I don't think I've ever seen that before.
Mess.
It was a mess.
Are we gonna talk
So
about
yeah,
my number one now, which everybody now knows is
likely. Steph's number one.
Welcome from Amsterdam. That's awesome. My number one is
Hello,
Lost
Amsterdam.
Ruins of Arnak. Obviously, since I was like,
Obviously.
yes, it's so good.
Well, it only makes sense that the same games will appear on this list because I have to play all the games that you play. Yes, for obvious pandemic reasons.
This
So,
one just blew me away. I was very,
yep.
very shocked. I didn't really know what to expect when I first opened the box. And it's just, I love games with fast turns and unlimited number of actions that you do, but it's all dependent on what you're doing with your cards, how you use your people, what you might find. It's exploring, it's deck building, it's, researching, and there's just so much amazingness
Don't
in this
forget the
game.
monster killing.
The monster killing, which are awesome. I actually really like the theme. I know you don't really care for the theme as much, but I really like the theme. People who love the Indiana Jones and like
Oh no, I like the
relics.
theme. It's been done to death. Not that it doesn't need to stop being done. It's just there's a ton of exploration type games because it's really easy to create games with that theme.
But I
I
like
don't, I
that
don't mind it
theme.
at all.
Yeah,
I don't mind it at all.
I like that theme a lot. And I think it works really well, especially with what's going on, the mechanics in this game. This game is just a knockout of the park. It's really, really, really great. I don't foresee ever saying no if somebody's like, let's play that. And I can't see myself saying, nah, not today. It's easy to play. It will be easy to teach, I think, because the concepts of what you're doing is very easy, and the symbols are good. I mean, I don't know. So it's just it all really works. Some games that I love, like Underwater Cities, is less easy to explain because there's a little bit more going on. You know what I mean? But it's just like it's also a game I really love, and I kind of compare the two in that they're both games that I rate really highly, doing really good things.
Yep.
I don't know. There's
Different
just
things, but both good.
yeah, but I don't foresee ever saying no to Arnak, where I might say no to Underwater Cities if because you kind of have. I don't know. There's just Arnak has something about it that I really really like. So it's really good.
Well, again, the exploration theme, it lends itself to this sort of game. It's like saying, oh, we don't need any more medieval games because that's already been done to death. Well, no, because it's really easy to create a game based on that theme. So that's why there are a lot of those type of games out there. You don't often see games about farming, yet those games actually exist. You don't often see games about amusement parks, though there are a few. Um,
Yeah.
yeah. So
Shrey's like, never say no to Underwater Cities. I knew you were gonna say something.
I
I knew I
I
was
know
gonna
that's
get
why I
something.
was like, Hold
No,
on, where's
I
that? Where's
rate
the
them
Derek?
both a 9, so that's like fairly good. And I don't normally say no to Underwater Cities, but I can see where I would. Like, if 4 people wanted to play and I was teaching 3 people, I might not want to play. It's less exciting. Versus Arnak with 4 people and 3 newbies is not that daunting of a task. Underwater Cities is a bigger task to undertake. And I might not be up for that. Whereas Arnak, I could see just doing. Anyway,
Yep.
Derek's face. Where is Derek?
That's what I'm saying. Is it like that's the face I'm like?
I love that. And that was the top
Um,
10.
I can imagine Arnak getting a lot of expansions. I can imagine Paleo getting expansions. Um, there are plenty of these sort of games that I think could benefit from expansions. Red Cathedral, I think it has a mini expansion in the box we've not even touched,
Right. Just
but I
extra
can see Red
cards.
Cathedral getting expansions. Eon's End, that's been expansion to death. We
It
still
already
have
has
3 small
expansions.
box. I think we have 3 or 4 small box expansions that we have not even touched on Eon's End.
Yeah, we gotta get those
Um,
played.
Mostly because our legacy box is full.
Yeah.
We don't have anywhere to put the new
We need
cards
a
if we
big
do.
box. Why
We
they're
need
not
a
doing it? They're like, when we're done with the series, we're gonna do a big box. I'm like, no, because then you'll be
no. You
done
need
with
it
the series,
now.
and we don't want that. We want it
No,
now because we need it
we want.
now.
That's right.
um, yeah. So I was also gonna talk about my weekly rundown. Do you want to be a part of that with me?
I could be here for that.
The first review I did was for Shocker Paleo, so there's probably not much more to say, but we both really enjoyed it. Um,
Yep.
and we played it on the stream. We loved it, and we'll play it again. We'll be playing
We'll
it
play it
more for
again.
sure.
Yep.
That,
And I thought one thing I didn't mention during our review is scenario 1, which we've played twice now, has card set A and B. Scenario 2 will have card set C and D. And so there's like a little campaign. You don't even have to use the campaign though. You could put A and C together if you want. So that's something that even once you're done with the campaign, there's still tons of replayability in that. So just from taking 2 random decks and mashing them together, sort of like Unfair, you can take 2 of those decks and just mash them together and come up with a whole new experience.
or you can mash 3 together if you're feeling frisky.
Oh, the Frisky expansion.
Really good. I also did my review for the Haunted Mansion, which we played on the stream as well. I think this is a really solid game. I think there's nothing like new about it, but what it does well, and it's bright and bold, and it fits the October, horror theme month really well. Much like Horrified, it fits that. You feel like you want to play Horrified in October just because you're getting into the Halloween theme. And the Haunted Mansion does a great job doing that, I think. And it's also nice because like you can like rotate the room, and that kind of gives me the feeling of being like on the ride at Disney, where it's like bringing you from room to room, and like you're spinning the room. And in retro, I'm also spinning Michael at the same time, so he's getting stuck wherever I put him, kind of thing. So there's something fun about
Usually
that.
right in front of the ghosts.
Yeah.
I mean, like or right in the path of where they might be walking. So yeah.
Exactly. And so it's a cool game, and I think it will work really well with families. It's easy to play, it's easy to learn, nice set collection game. I would definitely recommend it. And I think it's a keeper. It might not have, like, I rated a 7, which is pretty good, right? That's a pretty good rating. A 7 is basically on the line. A 7.5 is on the line of keeping or not. Mostly keeping at that. But I think it's a keeper because it has the theme it has. I think it works
Right.
well for the theme. And
I mean, you love Disney, so yeah.
I do. I do. I also love Disney. And we were listening to the Haunted Mansion soundtrack while we're playing. It's so fun. So at least for now, I think it's a keeper.
Yep.
We played Batman Who Laughs Rising. Michael sort of mentioned it in the top 10 a little bit. He referenced it when he was talking about Plankton Rising. And if you've played a Rising game, I don't want to say you've played them all, because they all offer something a little bit different, a little tweaks here and there, but they give you the same feeling. You are rolling dice. You are trying to make your group and team bigger, and you're trying to get bonuses to overcome the different villains and meet your objectives. And I think it worked well. The theme is a bit dark for me. It's not really my taste so much. Even though I do like the DC world, I like Batman. I like that. But what do you think?
No, I think it's great. It was really brutal trying to push back the Batman Who Laughs because he was constantly on the attack. Um, it has the same number of locations as Plankton
Thanos.
Rising and Thanos. So I don't see a lot of difference there.
No. Plankton only had two.
Well, there's a third spot that is back at the
Oh.
chum bucket.
Yeah, but
So
that
there
doesn't
are
really
three
count.
spots. That's true. So it might. I think Plankton Rising might be a bit easier in that respect.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Um, but I wonder if Plankton Rising might actually be improved by having something bad happen when Plankton is at the chum bucket. So anyway, I do like Plankton Rising. I think a little bit more for mostly because of how it treats Plankton's acquisition of the ingredients. The Batman Who Laughs just basically goes up this track, and things just end up getting worse and worse and worse for the heroes.
But
I think
you need to go up the track in order to defeat him, to like basically
right,
unleash him, and then we have to defeat him before we run out of time or
right.
other
I think
conditions.
that's what I'm saying is I think that that's the major differences between that and Plankton Rising, and I think that I prefer how they do it on Plankton Rising.
Yeah.
It's having the deck of cards rather than having little pips come off a sort of like a time track. Plus, you can't even go after the main bad guy until it reaches the end of a track, and then all of a sudden the game can be done like that. Not sure how I feel about that. So I think in that respect, Batman Who Laughs is weaker than the other titles.
That's fair.
Otherwise, I'd be all over it because I love superheroes. If I were to choose between superheroes or Harry Potter or SpongeBob, I'll probably choose superheroes most of the time. In this case, I think it's probably the weakest of the three.
Yeah. And you haven't played Thanos Rising, but you'd probably like it.
Uh, thought I had played Thanos Rising.
Not me, but
Maybe I have,
maybe you have. It came out a few years ago.
but it's superheroes. I probably love it. So
Yeah.
yeah.
You collect. You're trying to like stop him from collecting the gems. I think I forget. It's been a while, but it's pretty.
Well, I mean that makes sense considering the whole Infinity
Yeah,
Gauntlet.
exactly.
So
And I haven't played the Star Wars one, so I don't know how it holds up against that one either. There's a bunch out there, and I think there's even more mentioned in the works, so there's a lot of these Rising games, and I think it's a nice little series that they have going on. And you just pick and choose the themes you like, and I think you'll have a good time. Obviously, I like Harry Potter best.
speaking of Harry Potter, not to interrupt, but I'm going to interrupt your rundown. I saw a new Harry Potter Funkoverse game.
Oh yeah, the second, the
It's
more
got
characters. It's Snape.
yeah, it's got Snape,
Snape. Snape.
Dumbledore, Snape,
Severus Snape.
Severus Snape, Dumbledore. Who else did it have?
Oh, it has what's her face, whom I hate. Oh, I hate her.
McGonagall.
No, I love McGonagall.
Who is it?
It's the fifth book 5. Dang, what's her name? Book 5. I hated book 5. Ugh.
Oh, I'm gonna look it up.
What's her name? She's all in pink. Umbridge, thank you, Shrey. Shrey knows. Yeah, I hate her.
Oh.
I hate her. I hate her.
It's got Hagrid in it.
Oh, Hagrid's the 4th character. That makes sense.
Yes.
Um,
So yeah, Umbridge and Hagrid. So yeah. Also, Target has a 25% off any toy or game
Oh.
if you go on their app
Hey,
or
Michael.
mobile site. What?
You want to help the mail lady?
All right, I'll be right back.
I hear the mail lady outside, and there's about 60 calendars out there. I feel so bad because she's like, she always has to deal with. She always has to deal with my shipments. I think I had like 4 packages going out today and like 60 calendars. So yeah, it's been a busy morning of taping. So FedEx, Amazon, just ridiculous because I was supposed to get my tape on Wednesday, and then it was delayed till Thursday. So I'm like, waiting. And then it was delayed till today, and then it got canceled. I'm like, no, I need tape. So Michael went out and bought some tape this morning, and like ridiculously expensive tape from Target. I'm like, oh my God, I have to like get these orders out. I printed all the labels last night in preparation to ship them today, because I'm like, we're going to get the tape. And so... be better prepared next time is my lesson. Okay, great. I had the envelope, so I had that going on. Thanks for stopping by of Dice and Men. That's awesome. Definitely a lot of great games that we played in October. I'm glad we could do a top 10 for you. Yeah, we're just running down the games in my blog right now, and then I have some games to show off because I have a big stack next to me that I'm excited to play. So that's still coming up. I've already been going for almost 2 hours. But yeah, next on my list, I'll just keep going without him, and he can pick it up back when he gets back upstairs. But I have Ganesha. Probably saying that wrong. See, I don't have any links, but this is a new abstract game. Thanks for stopping by, Misty. It's been a pleasure having you here. Yeah, Ganesha it's like a light abstract game. I'm pretty sure Michael would agree that it's not for him. It's not his type of game, because you're collecting gems to score points, and it's fairly abstract. Thanks, Shrey. It's very light. It's a light game. It's very beautiful, very, very beautiful. So, we'll show it on the stream. I will be planning a publisher night, and this will be featured for sure. So it will be shown. It's very, very fast. It's a fast game, so it won't take us very long to play. But yeah, I think it's a beautiful game, solid game. I don't know if it's anything like special about it that makes it like, wow, that game is really great. So it doesn't really have that like hook, but it's worth checking out. It's worth playing. And I'm happy to play it again. Then I talked about Tea Order Cafe Refill, which is the next edition of Tea Order Cafe. And I played the original back when it came out, and it's okay. I mean, it's a light card game where you're making sets to gain points, and you're trying to be the first to get to 40 points or something. So it's very simple. And the refill actually adds in an additional card for each player, and you can also play up to 6 players now. So there's like, it's almost like 2 decks of cards that you're playing with. And everybody can have a refill card. And this refill card allows you to take T cards back to your hand, and then you flip it over, and on the other side, it's score extra points for when you use a cake. And then you'll flip it back over, and you'll keep doing this. And it's about optimizing your cards a little bit better. And I think it works fairly well. I do like the use of this one card a little bit better when playing this game. So I would suggest, if you were to keep this game or get this game, that you would get the refill edition, because it gives you that extra added little added strategy. Yeah, I think it works. I still don't love the game, but I don't hate it either. I would happily play this again. There's nothing wrong with it. It is a race to 40 points, which is usually not my favorite type of thing, but yeah. And I'm going to type it in that Oder Cafe, I think. I'm not good at spelling, but I think that's it. In today's blog, I had Bear Down, which I played back in November under the name of Grizzly. And now it's been renamed to Bear Down. That might just be for the U.S. printing from Amigo Games. I'm not sure. It's a very light children's game, family game. It was actually really funny that we played it. We played it on the stream, like last week or something, and I just kept dying and dying, because it's a push your luck game. There's not much strategy going on in this game, but it's still fun to try and like push your luck to see if you can get all the fish so close to the waterfall. But then you might get unlucky and you might fall off the waterfall, which happened to me like every turn. I was just trying to catch up and get more fish, and then I would fall off the waterfall. But we had fun, and I ultimately, I don't think it's a keeper for me. It doesn't do much in the way of strategy, but we played it and we showed it off, and it will work for families and definitely kids. It's fun to see like bears fall off the waterfall. You know what I mean? It's fun to push things off. So it has that like tactile feeling, Bye, Charlotte. Enjoy dinner. And then I played a game called Mud. This game just ended on Kickstarter. It did very well. Not really my type of game. I'm not really that political. I don't get into politics, you're just trying to it's a set collection game with a political theme. And you're trying to reveal other people's scandals, and it's very much to take that game where, you're stealing cards from one another, you're, trying to make them lose turns and stuff like that. And it just doesn't work for me so much, so, I don't know. I tried it. The art is interesting. Ultimately, I don't really want to play it again, so yeah, that is what it is. Not every game's for everybody. We played a game called Talon, and this was a light card game. I think it definitely has a place. It was like 10 minutes. It was like super fast. And you're trying to get majorities in the different colors and helmets. So if you have 3 blue helmets and, Michael might have 2 blue helmets, I would be winning blue helmets. So if I try to score blue helmets on my next turn, maybe I will get some points, or maybe he just threw down some blue helmets, and then who knows? But and then so he's gonna try and stop me from scoring, and I'm trying to stop him from scoring, all while trying to score my own. But what the key about this game is that when you get to score, there's like specific cards that allow you to score. So if you play it, you can score if you have majority or not. But after that, you can choose to flip over any of your cards in the lineup, or take a card from your hand and put it face down. And you're creating these castles, and the castles will score at the end of the game. So you're trying to remember what cards they have flipped. You're also trying to remember what cards you have flipped for the end of the game scoring, all while maintaining a area control type situation in your personal display. So they're not going to score big points if they have a scoring card. So it's all of this is happening, and it's really, really fast card game. So I think what it's doing is nice. I don't think it's anything like groundbreaking or different, but it's a nice quick filler, and I would be happy to play it again. It was good, and I even have a promo for it. So I wonder what the promos do. I'm not really sure. And last but not least, I played a game called Doro, and this we played because it has a 2-player variant in the rulebook, but it does say 3 players on the box, and I would actually highly recommend playing with 3 players or more, because the dummy player that it incorporates is not great. This is a game that you kind of have to know. You try and get into the head of the other people you're playing, because you're all playing simultaneously, and you're trying to, Michael's already played the 10, and I think he's going to try and go for it by playing a 9. And so you're trying to read the situation, but when you add in a dummy hand that's really just shuffle up and reveal, you're going to get all sorts of random results, and it didn't work as well as... How did it go? Okay, he'll come back in a minute.
It was a duplicate.
A duplicate? What does that mean?
She told me down the door, and the mail guy had hit, the other mail guy, right, had hit his mailbox next door.
What?
Had hit his mailbox.
What does that mean?
Hit his mailbox.
Like ran into it with a car?
Yeah, with a car. Yeah. So
drama on the street.
Hey, we got a card from Star.
Oh, nice.
Now look,
You can add it to my
who
stack.
ships boxes like this and puts a hole in not just one box, but 2 boxes? They can't even see.
No.
It's like a finger hole where you can grab these dudes.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I'm gonna open them up.
All right, open them up, add them to my stack. I'm about there.
Now, aren't you gonna like talk about them?
Yeah. I said add them to my stack so I could talk about them.
Oh. All right, so this box is from Yellow.
Oh, exciting. I know what's in there. He said this box is from Yellow.
It's not a yellow box.
It's not a yellow box. But no, I'm finishing my talk on Duro. Hold on.
You're talking on what?
Duro.
Duro. It's a good game.
Michael said it's a good game.
Isn't it? Wait, Duro. No. I don't remember.
He doesn't remember.
Oh, yes.
Not,
Yes.
Add it to the stack. Add it to the stack.
It's so good.
Oh.
It's so good.
Oh. No, Duro's the game where we play simultaneous, and I was saying it doesn't work great with 2 players because it has a dummy player that is just randomly giving you cards.
Oh yeah, I thought initially it was Fado. Fado is good.
Oh yeah, we like Fado. So Fado's another one from Pythagoras Games, and that one actually had a variant for 2 players that worked well.
Love Fado. Yeah.
So yeah, and it's a cool theme in Fado. So of the 2, I would definitely suggest Fado.
Fado actually barely missed my top 10. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, there you have it. Barely. Oh, the slight echo from Michael's voice upstairs.
Sorry.
I can mute it, I guess.
No, I'll be over in a minute.
I'm gonna mute you for now.
Okay.
Thanks, Trey. Always looking out for me, Trey. So yeah, and then it was a pretty good week of gaming. Well, on the blog, Michael and I haven't actually played that many games this week itself. We've kind of been taking a break, I guess.
It's been busy.
It's been busy? No, I've been busy fulfilling Kickstarter stuff, and
All right.
I think
you might want to mute yourself for about 10 seconds. There is sticky bubble wrap. It's ridiculous. The bubble wrap is sticky bubble wrap.
Oh, I know.
No, you don't know.
I've seen it.
Sticky bubble wrap.
Yeah.
Who does this?
You're spoiling my list.
Sorry.
I have seen sticky bubble wrap.
Don't listen.
Ah! He's killing things out there.
It's bad.
Poor Lynn. Poor Lynn and all of the stuff she had to take.
It's so bad.
I should mute. You're loud.
That's why I said.
You could go into a different room.
Rum?
Oh, it's heavy.
What's a rum?
Alright. Are you gonna go up?
Yes.
Okay. And then I'll start my
I'm gonna go up to
my stack of games. Tearing audio was not too bad. Alright, that's good then. That's good. Yeah, I'm excited for the new stack of games. I mean, there's a lot of good stuff in here. One of them I think I already talked about, but it's so hard to remember what I've already talked about and what I haven't talked about. I can't remember when I got some things. Though I think they are new. Did I already talk about Cat and Mouse? See, I don't remember. I think I did. I don't know.
Cat and Mouse? Yeah, I think you did.
I don't know. That's the thing. I don't think I did, but I think.
Oh no, you talked about it on your hey, this is a new game that just came in.
Oh, maybe. I'll start with that. Look how rainbow it is! It's so rainbow! Ah! Unmute me, he says. Yeah, no, that's my only power of making him not be loud. But, Cat and Mouse. It's a dexterity game. A game that Michael and I have already played because it's like a 5-minute game. Where are my headphones now? Thought you were going.
I'm washing my hands.
You're still blurry. It's ridiculous. Michael didn't like this game.
Do what I can here. Still blurry.
Maybe you need light. Can't tell.
Maybe so. More light. How about more light?
Oh my goodness.
What?
It's like earthquake. Earthquake! Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Oh,
I don't know.
Cat and Mouse, why didn't you like it? I liked it. I think it's really fun. Well,
It's like Hungry Hippos if you launched marbles instead of eating them.
Yeah, maybe. But it's fun. It's cute.
And not only that, it ripped off Sparkle Kitty's graphics like crazy, and it just, all of it just leaves a bad taste in my mouth.
I mean, I tend to agree that, you know, they did rip off the Sparkle Kitty artwork a bunch. I mean, it's literally the same.
It's identical.
Yeah.
So, okay, so I'm going to put the links. I'm going to let's see. Can I put an image in the chat? No, I can't. But I can put the BGG. So, whoops. There is a game of cat and mouse box,
Yeah.
and
Sparkle Kitty. I mean, it's literally the same.
yeah, I'm trying to find the original box. Because I think the new box has changed, but the old box, I mean, it is.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
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 All right. Well, I'm gonna move
Then
on.
the new box is different, but it's still a big cat in a rainbow. So.
I got this little game here. This is called.
Well, I can't see, so
This
because
is
I'm not on the stream.
all right. This is called Meep Frog. Meep, like meeple, but meep frog. I think.
I think I found it.
Meep frog. I have no idea what it is. There are meeples inside with a cloth board.
It's a leapfrog match between red and blue.
All right.
There you go.
So that will be easy to play.
Abstracts, my favorite.
Is it an abstract?
Yes.
It's probably going to be fast anyway, so.
Yes, it is fast.
We have a new game called Chiseled.
Mm-hmm.
A deck sculpting card game.
I like deck sculpting. 3 critics, 1 set of tools, no excuses.
1 to 4 players. Plays in 30 minutes. So, I'm hopeful for that.
Yep. This is we play as artists in a shared studio. However, it's competitive, not cooperative. So 1 to 4 players.
Cool. Well, remember that time we started Zombie Kids and didn't finish it?
Oh, I know. We didn't finish it, but we went a long ways through
We
it.
did do it a long ways, and we should finish it. It's still on the shelf, and we will.
Yes.
But we're also very excited for this one that just came in that you just opened
That's
up.
why I said it's so good.
Zombie Teens, and the box is actually like double the thickness.
It's really good.
So I'm excited.
So I like Zombie Kids, and the only reason we didn't play it at the time was because of all the review copies and stuff. But we do need to finish Zombie Kids. But hey, now they're teens.
But now they're teens, and I'm expecting it to be a little bit more challenging than...
It is not an expansion. It is standalone.
It is a standalone,
And you do not need to have played the first game to jump right into the second. The rules are slightly more advanced and will require a little more strategic thinking. So, here is the icing on the cake. The 2 games are compatible. You can play Zombie Kids with your Zombie Teens and vice versa. So there you go.
Well, good. We have the new word game called Master Word. It's supposed to be the word game of the year. You know, like last year was Just One, and Decrypto was 1 year, and you know, Letter Jam was 1 year. All those word games. It falls into like that party game type word game it doesn't look like, you know, much graphic design or anything. It's going to be like a code name situation where there are words on a cards, and
it doesn't matter as long as the gameplay is good.
I agree.
Here's the catch. Word games generally are not too good. Codenames is great, so I'm skeptical but hopeful.
So this game is also different because there are levels. So you play through level 1, you go to level 2, up to level 300. It gets.
I like that. I actually like that.
Me too. So
Yeah.
I I don't know how that works, but apparently that's.
Well, it sounds like, with the crew having so many levels and stuff, it doesn't seem like that mechanically, but I like how you have different challenges like that.
Yeah. I was talking to the publisher of Scorpion Mask. And he's like, yeah, it was impossible to get playtesters because you kind of need to know the game. So once you get to a certain point, you can't find playtesters because nobody wants to play 300 games of like in playtesting mode.
Well, I don't know. If the game is good, you should be able to find someone to play
That's
300
true.
times,
That's true.
especially with a playtime of 5 to 15 minutes.
That's true. It is wicked fast. So I don't know. He was just saying it was a challenge to find people.
So I could see where it would be difficult to play through all 95 or so Gloomhaven scenarios. Gloomhaven is not a fast game.
Or 504.
Well, some of those are intentionally probably not play tested because
I think he play tested every one of them.
He might have played all of them. I don't think he play tested all of them.
That's probably true. It's impossible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But still, 5 to 15 minutes.
Hey, welcome Raiders! Woo!
Woo! Awesome.
Thank you guys for joining.
Hey. So yeah, Steph's talking about her recent acquisitions for the week.
Yeah.
And you should be seeing some of these on upcoming Twitch streams that she does. So yeah.
Yeah, no, we just finished our top 10 games that we both learned in October. We had similar but different lists, and we had a great month of October. I mean, there were so many fantastic games that we learned in October, so... Hello, it's raid time. Raid,
yes,
raid.
Yes, it is.
Raid. Woo! Right now, we're going through my new games stack because I get really excited to play all the new games. So here we have Master Word, which is supposed to be a very exciting new word game that just got released from Yellow and Scorpion Mask right here.
I'll put that link back in the chat. So
yeah, perfect.
No pun included. Can
I haven't tried it yet. It's still in
look.
shrink. It literally just came in the mail. Michael just went to the mail lady and got it for me. So that's exciting. And we'll be looking for a review and probably playthrough of that. Maybe I could play that with Shrey and Derek next week on the live stream.
No, I want to play it.
Yeah, you can play too. Play it with us. You're gonna need to be there anyway. It's 3 to 6 players because we can't play a 2-player anyway.
Well, if there's it depends, and if there's hidden information or not. Hidden information games just don't work real well.
We'll check it out. Maybe you can run it for us.
We'll see.
We'll see.
It's likely.
We're going to need to test because we're going to have a publisher night next week. The 14th is the plan at the moment for Lucky Duck Games is going to join us, and we're going to...
And that's actually why I'm split screened with
That's why we're split screening it right now.
Yeah.
And so we're going to try and have Az on the chat with us as we play through Chronicles of Crime 1400 and the Kingdom Rush game. We'll play through Scenario 1 and see if we can beat the orcs and little villains that raid our town or castle or whatever. Raid.
They can raid with a party of 40.
I know,
just like
that's
no
amazing.
pun included. So.
That's awesome. No pun included. What else did I just get? We just got adventure games. This is the new edition, the Volcanic Island. And Michael and I both really like the adventure games series. They're interesting because, well, one, you're not ruining anything in the box, which we like.
Big plus.
It is a big plus. And 2, because you're kind of making and choosing your own adventure. You have to figure out the puzzles and add combos of numbers and everything. And and yeah, it's a really cool series, and I recommend it. We haven't played enough. We have the other ones. We have the dungeon, and we have the other one, the original two.
Monochrome. What? Let me
Yes,
look.
that we have both of those, but we haven't tried one of them yet. So we still have to play that one, and now this one.
Monochrome. There's also Grand Hotel Abaddon.
Oh, okay.
That is Volcanic Island came out 2019. Grand Hotel Abaddon came out 2020. So, or will come out
Yeah,
2020. Not sure
maybe
which.
it will come out. It says playtime is 4 times 75 plus minutes. So I think we should play the first case on the stream, Michael. What do you think?
Yeah, we could do that.
Maybe
Though I
we.
sort of want to get through the dungeon too. So
I know,
that's
but
important.
we got this one to play.
Yeah,
Maybe we can do this on
I
Sunday.
know. Maybe.
It wouldn't be spoilers. I mean, it would be, but it wouldn't be like. It's just
Yeah, because we're not going to go
part
all the way through.
Yeah, it would just be part 1. So
Yeah.
we'll think about that. I don't really know what we're
Yeah.
gonna play on Sunday, so I haven't really thought that far yet. Sunday's like 2 days away. I have to get through tomorrow, which we're playing Pandemic Legacy 0 all day. So, and then it'll be Sunday. Be like, what are we playing? Codenames duet for 2 hours, I guess. What else? Okay. The other game that just got here today, Michael just picked it up, and it's actually really heavy, and I really want to play this one. It is called Whistle Mountain.
All right.
What
That's the one with the sticky bubble wrap all over it.
Yes. I am super excited. Michael and I just played a game by Scott Caputo. We played the Sorcerer City game, and we both really like that. So I'm looking forward to trying this one. This one has polyominoes and stuff, so I already know that it's already gonna be like fun.
Yep.
Shrey played it already. He played it during the Essen demos, and I think he liked it, but he thinks it probably will be better with few players. But he can correct me if I'm wrong. He'll tell us in the chat. But either way, I think it will be great. I'm hopeful. This is one that I'm very, very looking forward to trying. I love Whistle Stop, which I don't think you've actually played, Michael, but obviously they're both very different types of games. It's the same universe, it seems like, with the whistle in the title and everything, but Whistle Mountain has very different mechanics than Whistle Stop, but I do like Whistle Stop, and that will be on my shelf. You should play that one as well.
Yep, absolutely.
One day. Hey,
when we have time.
I got some cool coins. What do you think that's for?
I don't know, because I don't have the stream running, so I don't know.
Oh, I got some cool coins. It says West Kingdom on it. Oh, hey.
I bet.
It's Viscount or Viscounts.
No.
And I got the cool coins. I'm very excited to check that out in, published form. I've already played this and really enjoy it. I played it on the digital form and really, I think it's a solid game. I don't know if I like it more than the other one, Paladins, the other one. But I think there are some solid choices on what's going on in this game. It's very, very thinky. There's a lot going on. I don't think I like how the game triggers its end. I wish it were set in rounds. I think I would like it more. But it's definitely one I've only played once that I need to play again. So I am excited to get this back to the table. Michael can learn it and see what he thinks. I do think it's better than Architects, which is of the 3 games. It goes Paladins, Viscount, Architects in my opinion.
I think I've only played Paladins.
Yep. And that even goes for the North Sea series, right? You haven't played any of the North Sea series, right?
Right.
Raiders or Shipwright.
Yeah, any of that.
So he's only played Paladin, so he's got some catching up to do in the Garfield series of games. But that's great because we also got this one from Garfield right here. Oh, Raiders of Scythia, which I actually think will be the better version of Raiders of the North Sea. It does look better. I mean, it looks pretty much the same, but it adds in a few different things. And I think those few extra additions will be a great addition. And I like the artwork. I think it's beautiful. So I'm definitely excited to get this game played. I think Michael will really, 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 really like this one. If I know you at all, which I think I do.
It's Garfield and not Garphill.
I thought it was Garfield. I don't know how to say it. I could be wrong.
Well, now that I look at it, now you got me questioning.
I don't know. I'm probably wrong. I know. I always thought
It looks like Garp Hill to me, but now that you say it,
it's like King Domino.
Garfield.
King Domino is what I. People were like, no, it's King Domino. I'm like, no, it's King Domino.
King Domino.
So Raiders of Scythia. This is one we'll probably definitely stream at some point. I know you will like this one, Michael. It's very interesting worker placement. I haven't played this one. Obviously, there's new things that are added, but I know he would like Raiders of the North Sea, so therefore this will be a killer of Raiders of the North Sea. I am anticipating.
I'm telling you, it's a series that
I'm trying to make it work. Every time I can see it in my mind, I'm trying to say it out loud so you can be like,
it will work. It will work.
Okay.
I'm telling you. And just a Twitch stream that had just where you just talk about all the games that fired other games or games that could have fired other games but didn't for some reason.
Oh, Mom Gamer says, love this game, Raiders of Scythia. Now, Mom, did you play Raiders of the North Sea? And do you have an opinion on which is better? I'm curious because, I want to know if my instincts are on point. I think they are, though. But it has a really cool, like, mechanic, Michael, that you are basically placing a worker down and then taking an action where you put the worker and then picking a worker up, taking that action. And the workers have different values. So depending on the worker that you're taking or placing, you can do different things. She said, played both and loved this much better. On point it is. Excellent. So Raiders of Scythia is a Raiders of the North Sea killer. That's good. Garfield Games. Garfield was established. So I was right.
That's what I can't find it on his current site anywhere. However, I found that deep in the dark parts of the interwebs.
Nice. Shrey says, I really like Raiders, including with the expansions. Yes, both of the expansions really add to Raiders. I agree. But I'm interested to see how this is different. Yeah. I think it takes some of the expansions and makes it, its own thing in Scythia. So, again, I'm excited to see what everybody else is saying as well. I think there's...
So, yeah, you got the West Kingdom metal coins.
I did. That's what I got. 50 pieces.
Yep. Just so I don't have to find it on BGG, here it is on Garfield.com.
Oh, okay. There you go. You can buy your copy of coins today.
It's on sale. $18.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's a lot. It's a lot for fake money, but yeah.
Yeah, at some point you could just use real money.
I mean, yeah. It's not as pretty though.
Yeah.
So it's funny because these coins, are basically the same as all of the other coins that they do. At least they remind me of the same. Maybe they're a little different, but I don't necessarily know if you need all of the metal coins for all of the games, or if you could just mix and match. Just keep them on the shelf, and whenever you play the game, pull them off the shelf, kind of thing.
Well, I mean, that's what we do. That's what we usually do.
Yeah. Or I don't even do that. Usually I'm just too lazy when we play with cardboard chits. Or I want to feature the game how it is in whatever I'm playing and don't want to represent the game.
Right. I mean, yeah, most of the time that's what you do specifically for that reason. However, when we do get coins, usually we'll grab the scythe coins or the pirate coins or whatever.
Or now our new favorite coins, which are these Sorcerer City coins.
They're those. Really good.
I love those. I think they're I don't know where they are, but they're around. Next game that I have here is a prototype, which I know Michael's so excited about. It is called Elements of the Gods.
Ooh, coming out in 2021.
So this is probably hitting Kickstarter soon. Wow, I just opened it. I wanted to see what was inside. These huge, 3D printed things. Look at how big. Nice. Oh, you can't even see. They're really huge.
Oh, speaking of things that are on Kickstarter or have been on Kickstarter recently, Shadow Network barely missed my top 10 as well.
Oh, yeah, that was...
So... and it did fund, at some point in the middle of the project, they created a $5,000 tier that went immediately. Not sure who backed it at $5,000 or whether it was a self-pledge to get it over the top, but they did barely fund, I believe.
Yeah, they definitely funded. It's so the Elements of Gods review copy. It says, gather worshippers, build monuments, and harness the power of the elements. It does look like an abstract type of game, but there's also cards and so we'll be looking for a review of that shortly, and if we like it well enough, we'll probably put it on the stream.
I'm fairly sure you're gonna like it. It's got some of the things you like and one of the things you don't.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
It's got action drafting.
Oh, okay.
Which you like. It's got pattern building, which you like.
Oh, I do like that.
It's got tile placement, which you like. It's got area majority / influence, which you don't like.
I'm not a big fan of that, but I don't think I hate it enough to bring the game down.
Correct.
For example, Blue Skies, I thought was done in an elegant kind of way where, you have to plan and do what you can to make it work. But yeah, some games don't handle area control that well. So it's not usually area control. Yeah, let's play. It's not something that will make me want to play, but I also don't think it's a make or break deal for me either.
Right.
Next game.
No, we've had actually pretty good luck with prototypes recently.
Yeah, this is true.
We've made some good suggestions for some of the publishers to hopefully implement in their rulebooks.
I'm trying to pick games that I'm only really interested in to review, and some people just beg, and so I say yes because I feel bad and I want to try it, but then we play games like Mud and I'm like, I probably just should have said no. But how do you know?
Mud wasn't terrible. It didn't work for two players at all. So
that could be. Shrey's dominant species has area control and you like it. Exactly. So there's something really nice about it. Dominant species. I love dominant species.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, there's quite a few abstract games that I don't like, but there are quite a few that I do like. So it just depends on the game. I tend to stay away from abstracts. with perfect, especially abstracts with perfect knowledge, because then it just turns into a chess game, and that doesn't fill me with happiness.
Right.
So,
So I'm hopeful for elements of the
yeah.
gods, because I do think, with the card mixture and stuff that's going on, maybe it will feel different. And I mean, it certainly will look pretty because of what I just saw. But
So Stray's got an interesting question. What do you think of El Grande? I already know the answer to this.
so here's the thing. This was Here's the thing. Here's the thing. I played this game when I was fairly new to board gaming, and it was being taught by somebody. I won't mention names, but I no longer play with this person. And I was doing extremely well. No. This was like years. This was like 2011 or 12 or something. Like, it was really early on. And I was really enjoying the game. Really enjoying it. And there was one rule he didn't mention, and then he wouldn't let me take back my turn, and I couldn't
that's ridiculous.
retroactively change what I had planned, and it was. I remember it so clear. I don't
Ruined it
remember
for you.
exactly what the action was, but it was something about a brown tab or something. I don't remember. If I saw it, I might be able to point it out, but there was something about an action that I couldn't do at the time I needed to do whatever I needed to do to get the points I was planning on getting or whatever. And I was going to win. I was literally going to win like that turn or the next turn or something. And he's like, oh yeah, no, you can't do that because of X, Y, Z. I'm like, what? You never said that. And he never said that. Like,
There are certain people in our gaming group that are barred from reading rules or not reading rules, but teaching games, because they will inevitably leave out a rule that 75% through the game. You're like, oh, I thought you could do that. And they're like, no, I'm sorry, I forgot to tell you.
no.
And I just blew my entire strategy. I've just been wasting 2 hours of my life.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And it gives me a sour feeling on a game, and yeah, maybe I should try it again, but it's not high on my list because
it's a fantastic game.
when
doesn't hit the table.
The webmaster says I had that with Power Grid. Yeah, I can hear you. There's always some game where it's like you're soured because of the experience you have. No pun included. There's always exceptions to the rule. I really don't like set collection, but there's plenty of set collection games that I own and enjoy anyway. Of course. And I totally get that. So yeah, there's always an exception. For the most part, I don't like pick up and deliver games. I would say I'm more lenient on area control. Depending on if the game is solely focused on area control, it's less likely to be a hit. But if it has area control somewhere in the mix of mechanics, that's generally okay. But generally, pick up and deliver is not my favorite thing, except for like Oracle of Delphi, which I absolutely love. So yeah, there's always something, right?
I like pick up and deliver. So that's, yeah.
Wim still won the game that the Power Grid anyway. Well, lucky
I got
you.
everyone to pay double for each power plant. I got mine for card cust. Yes.
It's been so long since I played Power Grid.
Yeah.
I think I'm undefeated.
Only because you won't play it.
Yeah, I played it like 5-6 times, maybe more. I always win. Michael's like, you haven't played with me. I'm like, yeah. My next game on the stack, I only have 3 more to show off. This one, I think Michael will be probably more excited to try. It's a big thematic, immersive experience, and I'm a little intimidated. But let's see if I can pick it up. It's really heavy. Oh boy, I got.
What is it?
Post-Human Saga Deluxe Resistance. It's really heavy. Oh my goodness.
So the Resistance is an expansion.
Right.
So you got Post-Human Saga and Resistance?
I got Post-Human Saga Deluxe and Resistance.
And Resistance. Okay.
Yeah.
So there's Post-Human Saga, and here is the Resistance expansion.
Yeah, so I guess the Deluxe has like its own special box. I don't know. It's a big pack of games. It's really, really heavy. I don't know much about it, but I believe it's cooperative. Derek says he's played it, but
It's not listed separately in BGG.
the deluxe game.
Correct.
Oh,
Adventure
it actually
Exploration.
says it's a competitive tactile survival adventure.
Yeah, it does not say cooperative in
I
this,
thought it was
so.
cooperative. Well, that's gonna be interesting. Don't beat me up. You're so mean to me. It could be played solo, 2 to 4 players, or team versus. So combines Euro mechanics with finely crafted story to create an experience that will challenge your system building skills while immersing you in a rich post-apocalyptic world. Well, that if it is a Euro game, that sounds good. Euro game disguised as like this horrible zombie game.
No, I don't think it's Euro. I think it's more Ameritrash.
Well, that's what I just read the box to you, so that's what it said on the box.
It says you're a survivor in a near future Europe. Europe does not equal Euro. So.
Okay. Well, I don't know. I just read what was on the box.
Yeah, I don't know. It's got minis and chunky bits, and those are generally, Ameritrash type games.
I mean, I agree. I agree.
Thematic, dice rolling, deck bag and pool building, auction bidding.
Well, we'll play it, and then maybe we'll play it on the live stream with the expansion or something.
Or something.
Okay. Ugh. Okay.
Beep, beep.
Beep, beep. The box looks like Zombicide. I agree.
The components look like Zombicide, which is why I'm thinking not exactly Euro, but
I just read what was on the back of the box. Don't go shooting the
I'm just saying what I see on the pictures.
Yeah. 2 more games. Well, one is really an expansion, so my next is the Gugong expansion called Panguan.
No.
You can say it.
Panjun.
All right, there we go.
Close enough.
And Michael hasn't played Gugong yet. So we got to get him on board with that, and then we could play this expansion.
Yep, absolutely. I'll try to type it in here right now.
This will be good to play in the stream. I think people want to see this. You're going to face a new set of challenges that will allow you to add all kinds of great content and variety to your game. This expansion box contains 4 modules that you can add as you please to the game.
Yep. That expands replayability. I'm all about replayability. So yeah, absolutely.
Fun fact, Wim lives 35 kilometers cycling from Game Brewer headquarters. That's awesome.
Oh.
They're a very cool company. I like them a lot.
We have several publishers in the Williamson County area, which is south of Nashville. So Nashville has several game design companies. South of Nashville is where most of them are based out of. So
yeah.
So Steph lives about 20 steps away from one of Infinite Dreams headquarters.
Just him.
which is, I'm part of it.
A
So,
few miles from
um,
the Van Ryder.
yeah, you're 10 minutes away from Van Ryder. Let's see.
That's
What
probably
else?
good.
Yeah, it's good for now. Conquest Games, we live about 15 minutes away from.
All
So,
right.
yeah,
Now
lots of them.
the last game
Last
is
game.
probably, well, now that I have Whistles Mountain, that might be the game I'm most excited about, or Raiders of Scythia. But this game right now, is probably the top of my list. It is Paris. This is a heavy box. Wow, there's a lot in there.
I'm not sure if this is the right Paris, but I'm going to put it in there.
2020.
That There's several Parises still, but I'm guessing that's the one.
This is Kramer and Kiesling. So,
Except it's not 2020, it's 19th century Paris, not 2020 Paris.
oh. Yeah, so very excited. Kramer, Kiesling, they always tend to knock it out of the park or present something a little bit different or unique. Yeah,
Wim said played that during something. Something got blocked.
I can't undo it.
Some
So I
word
don't
got
know.
blocked, so I don't know what it was.
Spiel Digital.
For some reason, it blocked it. I don't know why.
Very nice game. That's awesome. I am very excited to try it. Looks like we'll have a busy couple of weeks coming up, Michael.
It's been on the hotness, so
I know. Gotta get it played.
Well, you haven't gotten Hallertau yet, so Hallertau, which I know you want.
I want that more than any other game ever.
Oh, I know. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I don't know what we're gonna play on Sunday. If you have any suggestions, I'm all ears.
I've got lots of suggestions.
What? It's your birthday. You get to decide.
Well, we might have to bring some old games from the shelves, and not a new game. So we'll figure it out.
That's fine. It's your birthday. We play what you want within reason.
Exactly. We're not gonna play what I want.
Oh, no pun included, is getting Hallertau tomorrow. Can I come over? I want to play it so bad. I want to play it. It's like the one game. If I could have one game all year, that would be the one. Anything that big and that Uwe Rosenberg-ish, I want it. I want it now.
Steph peaks a lot whenever she's crying.
Yeah, I get very dramatic. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I have not played Anno yet. Wallace is certainly a hit or miss, so I tread cautiously with any new Martin Wallace game. But it did look fairly interesting. It looks like very fiddly, but also I want to try it. I have this problem where I want to play all the games, so
yes, you do.
It's a disease.
So yeah, you need to get. How do you get Board Game Bliss says it's in stock, but it's also a pre-order.
Right.
So I was looking to see if any place has it.
No, doubtful.
Doubtful. Or if anyone's about to get it.
Well, no pun included is gonna get it tomorrow.
Well, that's what
I missed the pre-order for Lookout. I was gonna order it, but then
I looked on Lookout and it's not. There's not even a purchase link. So
no, it's set out of stock.
There's not even a link anymore for it. So I don't know.
You have to order it in German.
9.
got Rocket Man. Fingers crossed. What's Rocket Man? Rocket Man! That's the Rocket Man I know. Is there a game called Rocket Man? Not familiar. Rocket Man! Actually, I am excited to try Raiders of Scythia. I think, Michael, you'll really like this one. Maybe we play that today.
Now, what is this?
What's this?
Oh.
What's this?
It just says preview cover. It's a Hallertau preview cover.
Oh,
That's
Rocket Man is a Martin Wallace game. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't remember seeing much about Rocket Man, so his games have been so bad the past, like, I don't know, 5-6 years. Like, I haven't played one Martin Wallace game and I'm like, wow, that's really good. His older stuff is good.
Boardlandia has it on as a pre-order.
Boardlandia.
And it is, that's Wisconsin, so with free shipping over $80, I think.
Well then, that seems good.
It does seem good.
So, Michael's really blurry again, yeah, Brass Birmingham is Martin Wallace. I haven't actually played it because I'm not sure I would like it, but I know a lot of people love it. I'm not saying Martin Wallace is a bad designer. I'm just saying his games in the past 6 years have been not great. Now, Brass Birmingham is basically, I thought it was a redo of Brass, but I know that there were 2 titles. I don't know.
I thought it was.
I don't know if they're the same or if they did a totally redesign for one of them or the other one. I don't know how that all played out. I haven't played it, so I don't know. But the games that I have played of his in the past 6 years have just been, like, not good.
I struggled through the old Brass rules, and it put me to sleep. It literally.
Yeah, it's probably one of those games where you need Stray to teach you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fairly sure there's a good game there, but it seems really dry, at least learning it from the rules. So
that's fair.
It was late one night, and Sean and I just put it up because we got it out, set it up, put it up, and that was it.
And Stray,
it's never come out.
Yeah, Stray mentioned you have London 2nd edition right behind you. That came out 3 years ago. Yeah, it came out 3 years ago, but it's based on London, which is an older title. And they did some revamps, and they made it a little bit better. And yeah, London is a good game. So there's like, yeah, that
I've never
came
played
out.
It, I don't know.
That did come out like 3 years ago, but it's based off of the older version, which is an older design. Doesn't count. It doesn't count in my opinion.
So, Martin Wallace games that I haven't played but are on the shelf. A Few Acres of Snow.
Never played it.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's on the shelf. We've never played it. Study an Emerald on the shelf. Never played it.
I think you need 3 players for that or something.
Well, that's still on the shelf. Did we play The Witches just to get it off the shelf?
Yes.
And then we got rid of it. So that's Martin Wallace. Discworld Ankh-Morpork, I do like. So it might actually make your cut. Maybe, I don't know. But I've not played London. So for me, it's on the shelf, and for you, it's a good game. Let's see. Steam. I haven't played. I've got it digital. And I believe that's Liberté on the shelf. Haven't played. And that came out 2001. So we're talking 19 years ago.
But I
haven't played it.
Right. I understand. I'm just saying that, the recent games of his. Now, Brass Birmingham, I don't know how it differs from Lancashire or Lancashire or whatever. But Wim says Brass Birmingham is a bit different. I don't know the differences. I couldn't tell you, but maybe one day I'll play one. I know Scott Farrier loves one of the two. I don't. They're both in my mind. They're both the same, even though I know that they're different. So I don't know. Yeah, but like, what are some of the other his newer titles? There was one that was just horrible. There was such a bad one.
Milito, Railways of Nippon, Lincoln, Australia.
Oh, that's supposed to be
with
bad.
A big capital Z. Wildlands, which somebody, where were we? We were at one flea market and someone had renamed Wildlands to Mildlands and put it up for sale. That was hilarious. I don't remember if that was Dice Tower or Gathering, but that was freaking funny.
Everybody said Australia was really bad, and no pun included. Just told us how it is bad.
Let's see.
I really like Automobile. That's a great game too.
And I've never played it. So did we re-get that, or is it out of the collection?
No, it's here. I got it.
It's okay. Yeah. Because I think I got it from the BGG charity auction thing, and then I didn't know if it stayed in the collection or took off. So many games coming and going. A Handful of Stars, The Arrival, Hit Z Road, Via Nebula.
Actually, Via Nebula is actually okay. And that's one that I'm like, I play it and I'm like, yeah, that's good. But it doesn't really give you a unique feeling every time. You're like doing the same thing and it's fine. And it's like, it's on the line of should I buy it if it's a good price and play it.
Oh, I thought that was on your shelf.
Nope, it's not on the shelf, but it's worthy of being played. So whenever that came out, if that was in the past few years, that seems older to me, but maybe it's been out longer than that. Or shorter than that. I don't remember when that came out.
So we should probably play Discworld Ankh-Morpork to see if you even care for it, because I've got there are 3 different editions. There's like the super rare collector's edition. There's the deluxe edition, which is what I've got, and then there's a normal base game, none of which can be found anywhere. It's recently been rethemed as Nanti Narking.
Oh yeah.
I can believe.
I do remember
though
that.
it's not listed in his games in his description for some reason. Maybe. I'm not sure if it's not considered his game, but basically the mechanics, from what I understand, are the same. So
Trey says you really need 4 players for Discworld.
I played it 2 players and it was fine.
Oh, okay.
Matter of fact, I've only played it 2 players.
Okay. Well.
So, don't know. But yeah, we at least need to see if you see any hope.
I thought Discworld was like really hard to find.
It is really hard to find.
So, Wim, you kind of got a little bit of a raw deal if you traded away Discworld for Santorini.
No, Wim says getting Discworld.
Oh, and then you got a steal.
Wim traded Santorini and received Discworld.
Yeah, that's a much better deal then. Good job.
The base game by itself is impossible to find and will probably get you close to 100 and more for the deluxe and even more for the collectors.
I should tell Rob to pull it out of the cobwebs and send it our way to get money.
Well, it depends on whether he even plays it or not.
Rob doesn't play games. He probably owns it.
He owns quite a bit, and
he
then
doesn't
just
know
he
what
doesn't
he
play
has. He doesn't
And he
know.
might as well just take all of his components and just shake them up in the box and then send it to us
I don't
because,
understand how that
oh my
happens. It
goodness.
hurts. It hurts so bad to open up a game
Oh,
and
it
see just
kills me.
everything like just crazy messy. I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't do it. I can't do it.
I
I,
can't.
I don't mind when components share a bag, but I mind when there are no bags and components are everywhere.
You are savage when it comes to putting bits
No, I'm
in the
not. I
same
at least
bag. I'm
put them
like,
in a
why
bag.
even bother putting it in a bag at that point?
No. No.
No.
Well,
Uh,
I think that's about it unless we're talking about other things.
we're talking about everything. So, if anybody has any questions about, I don't know, so we haven't done a convention in a while. If anyone wants to ask questions about conventions, if you've never been to a convention, we could talk about things that you can expect. Um, if you want to talk about buying and trading board games online, we can talk about that because we had a lot of experience doing that. Because Wim was talking about, trading Santorini and getting Discworld. That's a fantastic deal. I 100% recommend that you do things like that. Um, if yeah, if you've never shipped out games before, we could talk about that. Whatever you guys want to talk about. We got 20 people here. Might as well, uh, talk about things that they're interested in talking about. No, don't feel guilty. If they are happy getting a copy of Santorini for their copy of Discworld, they made a good trade. Financially, it's not a good trade, but there's nothing for you to feel guilty about. They accepted your offer or you accepted their offer, one or the other. So, yeah, I never feel bad about making purchases or trades, not once. No matter whether I'm on the good side of the trade or the bad side, if I'm making the trade, anybody can say no that they don't want to sell or trade a game. So, and there's no guilt feeling because it's a two-way transaction. I'm not stealing the game from you, and you're not stealing the game from me. So, it's that's the way I think all transactions should be is two-way mutual. Never forcing someone to buy something, never forcing someone to sell something. So,
You have a
just
good
my
point.
opinion. That's my opinion. That is my capitalist perspective on things. I'm 100% for capitalism. As long as you don't force someone to buy the stuff that you are selling, and you don't force someone to sell the stuff that they have, then it's perfectly fine at whatever prices that you both agree upon.
Yeah, I mean, and that also. I don't want to make publishers feel bad if I sell their games, but again, I've put out my review. We've done a coverage of it in some form. I post on social media. I do all my stuff. Therefore, I feel like I've earned the right. If I want to sell a game, I should be able to, and so I
Well,
do.
here's the thing. You don't charge them for your reviews.
No, I do
You
not.
are advertising for them.
I am an
Do you know how much
advertiser.
as a publisher I can tell you, do you know how much advertising costs? It ain't cheap. Sending sending a title to a reviewer, it it it, it is very inexpensive compared to other avenues. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah. And Wham's like, if you were to keep all the games, you would need a bigger house. Yeah, for sure. Or
Well,
have
no, at that point
start bringing it
you
upstairs.
no, you bring out the bookcases into the center of the
The
room,
room.
and then you've got two extra walls, and the walls are made up of bookcases. So you end up with this cool little U-shaped system, and it's really good. So, and that's the next step. Actually, the next step is getting rid of the TV in the living room because we never
I know, I
watch the
gotta
TV
put
in
the
the living
Christmas
room.
tree somewhere.
Okay. Hey, we have a fifth bedroom.
That's
Can go
true.
upstairs in the fifth bedroom.
This is true.
You never see it. You never come up here.
No. Hey, I thought Under Falling Skies might be on your list.
It just barely, again, on any other month, it would have made the top 10.
Yeah.
It was right outside the list.
Yeah, it was a good month of games.
And it was right outside your list, too.
Yeah, it was somewhere. I don't know where I put it. I think I put it at a
Because
7.
I used your new to me list to
Help. I
rate
figured
where
you
all this
would.
stuff was.
I figured
I
you
had
would.
to because just about every one of the games that I played that were new to me were played by you. So, yeah. And I knew they'd be different because I didn't play Cristallo. I didn't play Cocoa Pebbles.
Cocoa
Um,
Pebbles. Cocoa Pelly.
Cocoa Pebbles.
Cocoa Pelly.
It's really fun to say.
It is. It is. It's a good game.
Yeah, build a Christmas tree from game box. Oh, we have a game box shaped like a Christmas tree. Elf the board game or Elf the whatever game.
Yeah.
There's a game called Elf. So yeah, based on the movie.
Journey from the north. I don't know, something.
Journey, Journey.
Journey. I think BGG wants to do like the 12 Days of Christmas games, and I want to do that too. So maybe we'll
Ah,
do it, but
we can do it.
we'll do it the best.
That's right. And we can sing. On the first day of Christmas, my true love said to me.
Elf in a box.
And a partridge in a pear tree. So yeah. How many games in total have you played all month? She played 50 some odd games last month.
No, it was. You mean new to me? New to me games was about 59.
Oh no. How many games in Mom Gamer asked in total, so that's probably more. You're in the 60s or 70s last month, aren't you?
But if you're talking about all of the games, I played a lot more than that. Like
Well, how many games?
that was just
Mom
new
says Mom Gamer says in total.
in total. You could talk about Cafe in the meantime. I'm gonna try and look.
I've got to remember Cafe. I think we played it.
Yes, we did. It's card placement with cubes. Yeah, look it
I'm
up.
looking.
He can't remember anything. We played too many games.
We play way too many games.
I mean, for me, the game was okay.
Oh yeah, I remember. Okay, so it's got engine building and resource management, which I like. The card placement seems a lot like sort of like tile placement because you've got six things on a card and you have to sort of put them in it has to overlap a previous card that you've placed, so you've got that sort of tile feel about it. The only problem that I have with it is when you start building your engine becomes far too mechanical. You know that in exactly 5 actions and no one can stop you, you can create all of these little combos and you're going to crank out this many widgets and you're done with that turn. So at that point, it's like, oh, I've got 5 actions. I can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and get this many points. And there's not really any combos or anything. It's just put A and B in a bucket and you get C popping out. And so I like what it's trying to do. I think that there are other games that do it better.
Yeah, out of all of the games we played from Pythagoras, I think we played better from their collection of games. We played like Garum, which I think is better. We played Rocio, which I think is better.
Yeah, Garum and Rocio both keepers. Matter of fact, we traded Garum away before I knew what it was all about, and I have big time trader's regret because I am now actively trying to get Garum back on the shelf.
It's back on the wish list because
it's back on the wish list.
You know what? After the second play, it's like you really start to see.
It really clicked.
Yeah, and I think it's a really solid game, and I actually like Garum a little bit better than Rocio, even though Rocio's good. I just there's something about Garum that just it makes me want to keep going back to it.
Yeah. Well, you see the new strategies emerge too.
Right.
So I like that.
And what else? The Six Castles wasn't better.
No, so Six Castles was a total miss for me.
Fado is probably better. We'll probably keep Fado.
Fado's
Cafe, I don't
really
think
really
is gonna be
solid.
on the keep pile.
So yeah, I mean, not every game is going to be a hit from a single publisher, and a good publisher will know that. Just because a game is not good for me doesn't mean it's not good for you guys,
Right.
and that's why we try to take good pictures, try to explain all the mechanics and all of the things that we think are good and bad in the game, so you guys can make your own decisions about it. Which is that's how I do co-ops too. I tell you all the good and all the bad, and you make your own decision. So, yep.
Okay, so my stats for October were 59 new, um,
Hmm.
92 different titles overall, um, uh, 10 different players, 148 games.
148 different plays, 148 plays of games, 100 and something unique,
92 unique.
92 unique. It's good.
It's not bad for October considering, yeah. I,
Yep.
I don't even know where
Considering Essen
we.
was in there.
Yeah, I mean, I only learned 59 and somehow played 92, so I'd have no idea how that even happened.
So if you have 2 more months of 59, which I don't anticipate because of playing Pandemic Legacy Season 0.
Yeah.
However, if you even come close to that, you are going to easily hit 500. I remember you telling me about some years that you would have to do a New Year's Eve rush to play like 27 games. You're playing all the little games that you can that are new to you. You got all your gaming friends saying, "Hey, have you played this one?" You sit down and you play it real quick, and it's a little 5 minute game, and boom, it's another check mark for that year. So just so you can hit your 500 target this year, I think you're going to hit it easily. I don't think you'll hit anywhere close to
Well, we've
six.
only learned like 2 games this week, so we're not doing so great this week, but
Well, no, but the game that we played, which is fantastic, by the way. I, I think it was a long game, and so that's good. I don't mind games. I don't mind it when there's not a lot of games played, as long as they're nice, meaty, fun games,
right.
and not just We're going to play a lot in November and December. That are those little light Christmas games, and those will boost your count up just fine.
Yeah, I agree. And but so we also need to focus on getting some of the other longer games played as well. Like I'm guessing Post Human will be longer, or at least longer
Yep.
learning experience. And
Roman
Rome.
Roll rulebook is really thick. We need to get that
And it's been over a
soon.
month, so we really have to get that one played. That's like on my
Not my
priority.
fault.
It is your fault.
Not my
I
fault.
blame you.
No,
How
I
fast do
don't
you learn a
accept
new
it.
game? It really
As
depends
fast
on the
as I
rule
read
book.
it.
Yeah,
As fast as I read
as
it.
fast as he reads it. Paris is simple rules wise. Oh, that's good because the box is 90 minutes, but it's good to know that the rules are simple because um, sometimes when we look at a time on a box, we're like, well, that doesn't bode well. But if we know in
Well,
advance that the rules are easier to grasp, then it's more likely to get played sooner than something like Post Human, where we need to like
right.
carve out time.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. Whenever it's a quick 15, 30, 45 minute game, number one, the rule book's probably going to be fairly short, usually. Number two, we can get a bunch of those off the shelf and make room for more games to come in. The ones that are great are big, like playing the full Pandemic Legacy Season 0, or playing a big meaty title like the game we just played. Should we just tell them what the game was?
Yeah.
I think maybe we should. Beyond the Sun is really fantastic. So, spoiler alert from my side, anyway. I'll let Steph reserve her opinion for the blog, but I thought it was excellent. But I like games with a Civilization, the PC game type tech tree, where you're like, the thing that you learn in science is going to help you learn two other things in the next level and three other things in the level after that, and is really good.
Yeah. I do want to show it on the stream, but I'm worried that Michael will be too AP.
I'm also worried about that, but I think people ought to see it. The problem is it's the box says 100 minutes, and I think it we use that. I use that because you're trying to think of a lot of times you're trying to think. You've got one action. What am I going to do with it? So, um, and there's a lot of things to do because once you have a technology, those actions become available to you, and that increases the amount of things you could possibly do on your turn.
Yeah,
It's
so
good, but you could analyze it to death. So
yeah. Um and
I highly,
I could
highly
see it
recommend it.
being long with 4 players and
Yes.
I but also
The
fast.
yes and no. Yes and no. So the game end triggers when a certain number of achievement tokens have so
Whim.
you
Oh
get
my god.
you have end game achievements, right? And when four of them have been claimed, the game is over. And it is they all come at the end of the game and they all come quick. So yeah, I'm not certain it would take longer.
Whim says we always need to triple the time on the box.
I see 300 minutes. No, hard pass. Well, I say hard pass, but I like long games. I mean, Advanced Civilization was made for me. It's really fantastic. So
Well, so
I
it
don't
also
mind long
depends.
playtimes.
It usually takes us when we're learning a lot longer because we are reading the rules and going through it all and making sure we understand and so sometimes we have to refer to the geek if something's not answered properly and it can the time adds up.
Well, well, it's even more difficult for. Okay, so it's difficult for popular games because you have 972 forum threads, and you got to wade through them to try to find if your question is answered, or the game is so new
There's
that there's
nothing.
nothing out there, and then we just sort of have to just scratch our head. And I say, can you contact the designer? And a lot of times you can, but at the time we got to figure out what to do. So, and it takes a while. Um, when the good thing about civilization, about advanced civilization, is that the rules are easy to teach. So for a 12-hour game, you're not spending several hours on the rules. Um, all of the learning comes in the doing. So to say that there's a trading phase, it's easy to teach. But then you actually do the trading and you go, oh, this is deep. I got to figure out how to trade these things away. But it doesn't take rules for that. It takes doing it to see what works. And I think that's where civilization really shines. It's a long game, but you're always doing something. So the times that it slows down are when people are buying their civilization cards and they don't know what the heck they want. That slows down. So, not for everybody, I know. But for me and my lead playtester James, one of my awesome bestest friends here locally, who I'd love to play games with once this pandemic is over, can play games with him and his wife again, other than being on digital. Um, we say that anything under 2 hours in length is a filler. So yeah, that's our opinion. So yeah, they appreciate that. That's good.
Yeah.
So
Whim's like, but the game would take us 30 plus hours. That's not playing games. That's a lifestyle.
yes, yeah, that you've now described Steph. This is her lifestyle. Games. This is what she does for a living. So yeah.
Yeah. But
Me, it's my side hobby and my side job. So yeah. Hi, Steph.
yeah. That's cool. We did well today. We got like a really cool raid, and we got a subscription. So it's been a good day.
It's been a good day.
It's been a good day.
Wim has other hobbies like webmastering,
Yeah, no,
right?
I have no other hobbies.
You don't. You have no other. I have other hobbies. You have no other hobbies.
You know, there could be other hobbies, but I get really kind of
Oh,
obsessive about things. So I
you
try
do
not.
have another hobby.
I mean,
Watching
I do
TV
watch.
shows and movies.
I do watch TV.
You watch a lot
Right
of
now,
TV.
Michael and I are going through season 1 of Amazing Race. It's funny.
It's so much better than the new ones. It blows me away how much they have taken out of it over the years.
It's
Because
it's crazy.
yeah,
It's crazy to see,
but
and it was crazy to see the Twin Towers. I'm like, wow, it's really been that long. Like
yeah, it
first
premiered in
episode,
2001.
boom, there's the Twin
Yep.
Towers. You're like, wow.
I think the first episode was September 6th, 2001, and I'm like,
Yeah.
that's like literally like 5 days before the towers came down. So yeah. So mom asked what other hobbies I've got. I am a fourth degree black
He
belt.
likes to kick people in the head.
I like to kick people in the head. I'm a fourth degree black belt, so I love both taking and teaching Taekwondo. That's a problem, though. I haven't been in 8 months because of COVID.
Reasons.
So, because of COVID reasons. And while I don't mind getting it, if Steph gets it, it would be really bad. She would probably end up in the hospital. So I don't go. I am thinking about asking the owner if I can use the academy when nobody is there, and so I'm hoping that's a possibility. I just have to ask him. No, you don't. Never lose the belts. I've got a whole box of belts. Um, I'll go get my box of belts,
Oh my
and you can
goodness.
talk about your other hobbies. You have other hobbies. Talk about your singing hobby.
I like to sing. No, I mean, I haven't been singing that much. It's just, but I love musicals. I really, really, really love musicals, and I haven't seen a show in so long. It's so sad. Um, I used to go to, New York to see lots of shows. I used to go to shows in Boston, and I saw a few shows in Nashville, and that's where I'm currently living in outside Nashville. So I love Broadway. I love musicals. So it's always been a big fan of that. But yeah, just focusing on the games at the moment, and now making Twitch a regular happening thing. So it's been a lot of fun. It's a new learning experience and trying new things and seeing what else is out there besides blogging. While I like blogging, it's not really a passion. I do like talking about games and writing about games, so I'll continue the blog, but I find it is actually easier to talk about it on a stream like this versus in a blog because it's more free flowing. Let me check where Nashville is on the map. Yep, in Tennessee. Mom Gamer has tons of hobbies. Like what?
Tons of hobbies.
I don't know.
So I have got a ton of belts. So this is from when I started my white belt, from when I was brand new to Taekwondo. But I've got all of my belts except one. My son has one of my belts because he started back doing Taekwondo, and I let him use my belt because he's grown a lot since he first took Taekwondo. But my last belt, other than the fourth degree belt I have now, is my third degree level 4 belt. So My 4th degree belt is down with my Taekwondo gear because I don't want to lose it. Get it separated from the gear because it all goes together. So,
Ooh.
like Steph, I also sing, and yep. Oh yeah, I've also got all my boards that I've broken over the years. So, um, all the wooden boards that I've had. So they're fairly thick, as you can see. So, and hardwood. Anyway, this whole box is full of belts because every time you get promoted, you get a new belt. So this whole box is just full of belts.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, there's four different levels for each degree and three different levels for each color belt. So I mean, it's just a literal stack of belts.
That's a lot of belts.
That's a lot of belts. I thought about if I knew how to sew, and I don't. Sewing them along, vertically in strips and making a big blanket out of it. So, yeah. Anyway, I like kicking people in the head.
Mom Gamer
All my
asked
awards
you.
are work. So.
Mom Gamer asked you how long.
Oh, How long did it take? A little under 3 years to get my 1st degree black belt, and I think it takes something like a year and a half to get to 2nd degree. Then you have to be a 2nd degree for 2 years before you can be a 3rd degree, and you have to be a 3rd degree for 3 years to be a 4th degree. But you have to actually be going to class all of that time. You can't just sort of kind of go for 3 years and then get your 4th degree. So I've been doing it right around 10 years when I had to stop. And so, yeah, I'd be around 10 and a half years right now had I not had to stop. And I started teaching it right about the time that I got my black belt. So I've been teaching it for about 7 years. Love it. Love it to death. But yeah.
Mom Gamer says she likes to paint minis.
I have painted one game, and I like what I did with it. I don't have the patience to do it.
That's basically where I am. I painted the Zolkin wheel, and that's about it. And
you did a really good job on that Zolkin wheel.
As much as I want to paint more, I don't really have the time these days. But I am considering putting an insert together on the live stream to maybe give me motivation to do so.
Oh, yeah. Wait. Let me check where Nashville is on the map. You don't know where Wim might be from another country.
He's definitely another country.
Okay, well.
Because Game Brewer.
Now that I think about it.
Game Brewer is where?
Germany?
I forget where they're located. Belgium.
Belgium.
So I don't know if that means Wim is in Belgium, but I'm guessing close to.
Somewhere close.
Oh, the Netherlands.
Oh, okay.
I love the Netherlands. I have a lot of friends there.
Yeah, you do.
I have a lot.
So how did it affect me when I got my black belt? I am always like in IT, we've got IT certification, and I'm always wanting to go for that next certification and that next level. And so when I got my black belt, a lot of people when I got my black belt, it didn't change anything because there was still, 1st-degree level 2, 1st-degree level 3, 1st-degree level 4, 2nd-degree level 1, and then going on and on from there. So the way that you should look at it is you've reached the top of the hill, but the foot of the mountain. A lot of people get their black belt and think that they have reached where they need to reach and they are an expert, but that is not the right attitude to take. Because when you become a black belt, a black belt only signifies that you know all the basics and have not even mastered them, but you've become proficient enough that you should know all the basics. And then you start learning advanced stuff and putting it all together and being able to defend yourself and things like that. So I think it's the wrong attitude to get your black belt and say, okay, I've reached I've reached the top. So, and so it really didn't change me any. I think when I got my instructor stripe, that's probably out of all of the patches and stripes and belts and everything. I think the instructor stripe on my uniform is the best thing that I've got.
I took some
So,
cool pictures of you when you got your fourth.
man, it was so good. I don't think you have them shared anywhere though.
um, if you pull them up and do a share screen, you might be able to show them.
I might be able to share screen.
I
Let me
took
let
some
me see
cool
if I
ones.
can.
I mean they turned out really nice. Um, some action
I'm gonna pull
shots.
them up.
Kick in.
TKD folder. All right. Um, let's see. Now I gotta share my screen. Share your screen. Select window or screen. Let's share screen one.
Hey, there you
All
go.
right. You see it? All right. So that was the day. That big, thick black stripe, that's my instructor stripe. Um, and if you don't have that stripe, then you're not an instructor. So, I mean, they can tell you apart from other people, um, who are just taking class. That's another guy who instructs with me. He is the same rank, but has been doing it longer than I have. The owner of the academy, of my academy, is the guy in the background to the left. So behind my friend Eric is my head instructor. So that is my head instructor's instructor. So he is a ninth degree. You probably don't want to mess with him, despite him being older. You probably don't want to mess with him because he is deceptively fast. So as I am sparring, I like to do these cool jump kicks and showing off athleticism. So, and Steph made it look so fantastic. She would often take the picture right as I was in mid jump or mid extension, and they all look really good. Um, and in black and white, it really stands out. So that was a good shot. Love it. Um, but as you can see, once you get your foot in there, even if they block it, you can still do some major damage to the ribs. So I love sparring. There's nothing. What are you laughing about?
Chad's like, these are good photos of Michael's pajama club.
This girl here, she arrived late to the testing. You don't want to do that. So she was nervous the whole time,
Yeah.
and I'm sure then she was nervous when a guy's going to kick her in the head. Um, so I don't know whether I'm the one receiving or taking on that one.
I think you're getting hit.
Or that might be. That's a fifth degree there. I had to spar him twice, and he is absolutely fantastic. Obviously he's a fifth degree. He's been doing it at least 4 years longer, if not more than me. My second time through, it was the very last. It was the very last round that we were doing of the sparring. He said, "Don't give up." I was like, "Never." It was a lot of fun sparring him. But yeah, so Steph would often get my kicks at full extension, and so it was really good. So, and I like doing the high kicks where I'm like, going high and getting them in the head. So it's always fun. So as you can see, I love the jump and headshots. So, and Steph managed to get like that one. So that's a total miss of a block. That's something you don't want to do. Um, so yeah, this is my fourth degree testing. So this is I was a third degree at the time, and This is when we were breaking boards. We don't break wooden boards. We break these plastic rebreakable boards. And so I think he had to break 4 of them. And that's going to be an axe kick right down through the middle of that board. And that was the perfect time to take that shot. So that's another one. I don't even remember what kick that was. But after the testing, we're all done. So, and as you can see, it makes us a little sweaty. So,
Yeah. It was a relief when you were all done. I know how nervous you
oh
were.
my goodness,
Yeah.
well, it's the first testing. It's the first testing that we did. Um, the first testing that 4th degree is the first high rank testing that anybody does. And so you're not testing with just your instructor and your group. You are at the bottom of the very top of everything. So everyone 4th degree going for 4th degree and higher test in front of the senior grandmaster and everyone under him. So yeah, it's really good. Have I
Yeah.
ever gotten hurt or hurt someone by mistake? I've not ever gotten seriously hurt. I've gotten a couple of black eyes. I've gotten some, knee tweaks where my knee hurts for several weeks or months at a time. I have accidentally hurt people by mistake. So as I said, I like to do all of the head kicks. I did a spin hook kick on somebody he must have been like 6'8", and we were doing tournament sparring, practicing for a tournament. And I tried to go over his head, because a lot of times you're not standing fully straight, you're sort of down a little bit. So I tried to go over his head and ended up clocking him right in the side of the head. He he outweighs me by like 60 pounds and 8 inches, and he went poof, flat on the mat. Like, oh no, I've really done it this time. So yeah, I have hurt someone by mistake. There was one testing that I was going up against a 4th degree female. I believe she's like 19 years old. Um, I'm a lot bigger than her, obviously. And I think that I just got her rattled emotionally. And so when I tapped her headgear with my foot, it turned her headgear around a little bit, and I think she just got more nervous than anything. So a 5th degree female instructor came out and showed me how it was done, and I literally paid for it. I was up against one wall and then the other wall, and she had a fire in her. I was like, I'm in trouble now. So I've had someone do blind spin back fists on me 3 times in a row, and that's like, his fist is around like this, and his face is like this. You can't do that with your friends. You could do that in a street brawl. You can't. We have a rule in Taekwondo: don't hurt your toy, don't break your toys. Don't break your sparring partners. And if and this is someone who was a 2nd degree black belt, he should have known better. I literally walked away from the fight. So, yep, I
Uh,
have.
a lot of love for my photos. Thank you all for enjoying those.
Yeah, I mean, that's the kind of photos she takes with games too. For those of you who don't check out her blog, she makes if she can make me look that good, she can make games look good. So yeah. Do you get points like in judo? It depends on the tournament that you're doing. So when you're sparring in a tournament setting, then you'll get 1 point for a punch or a kick, 2 for a kick to the head, 3 for a jump kick to the head, and that's why I like doing jump kicks. I actually do have, if I can bring up the video, I've got videos on Facebook. Is it Facebook or you think I've got them on Facebook?
Thanks, Wim. The calendar
You can
is
talk
nice.
about something while I look it up.
Yeah, Wim just complimented my calendar, which I'm very excited for. I got out all of my Kickstarters that I have pending orders for from everybody. So everything's already shipped. The poor mail lady is just probably like, what is this girl doing? So everything's all shipped. If you haven't ordered it, or if you want one, or you know somebody wants one, I just put the link in the chat. But yeah, it's exciting. Time Roller gets bragging rights. Woo, woo. Woo, woo. It's been a busy
All right,
week.
for anyone interested. Here,
Hold on.
here is. Yeah, you're trying to make it bigger or something.
Okay, there you go.
So I was still a third degree back here, sparring against a senior fourth degree.
Okay.
Normally, they don't put people of the different ranks in the same ring, but
Yeah.
when you get up high enough, they have no choice because there are so few people with that high of a rank. This is the fight for first and second place.
Okay.
So this only goes for 1:42. It doesn't take long
Okay.
to get this taken care of. So first one to 7 points wins.
It's like super choppy.
Is it? I've actually lost about 20 pounds since this, so.
Yeah.
Boom, right over his head.
Boom.
So one person called it. You have to have two people call for points. So that would have been worth 2 points for me, but didn't get it. You see, he tried to fake me out, tried to make me kick him in the back, which would give him a point if I kick him in the back.
That's
Oh yeah, it is super choppy. I see it on the stream. It is super choppy. So you probably couldn't even tell he tried to make me hit him in the back. As you see, I like to try to aim for the head because that's worth 2 points. Boom.
But yeah.
Boom.
Like off the screen into
Off the map.
chairs.
Yep. He tried to get me with a lot of spins and misdirections, and if you're sitting there watching, it's just not going to work. So.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So
That's that.
Wim's like, shipping must be crazy expensive for
Yes.
Europe. It was more than anticipated, so I ended up charging less than I should have, but that's okay. I have since raised it a little bit on my website for shipping to Europe because I did miscalculate a little bit on my estimates. I don't know how I could have been that off, but maybe it could have also changed since when I did the research on it to when I actually did it. Hard to know. All right, I think. Are we gonna like wrap? Are we gonna wrap?
I'm not good at rapping. I prefer to sing.
Gonna call it. We have games to play, Michael. We have to play some games.
I am writing things to people.
Oh, okay. I sent a game to Germany this week, and it was also way more expensive. From Netherlands to Germany, and it was still very expensive. That's too bad.
Well, I mean, crossing country lines, so I mean.
Yeah, I mean, I understand. Yeah, I mean, I get it.
Yeah, I was laughing about the super choppy part. saying it about a martial arts video.
No, I know. That was a good one time roller. That was good. That was good.
So if you can't tell, I really miss it a lot. And even if I went back now, there's still no sparring because of COVID restrictions. You still want to maintain social distancing. So if I went back, it would just be a lot of forms and workout stuff, bag work, board breaking, things like that. Actually, board breaking probably can't even do because you got to have two people holding the board. So, um, yeah, but
Yeah.
yeah.
I always like
Um,
hanging out on Fridays with everybody. It's always fun. I'm glad Michael could
yep.
join me for a top 10. Maybe we'll make it a regular thing
Yeah.
every month where we run down our favorites from the previous month.
So you did not even give them your link for all of your singing. You've got hobbies. You just got to show
But I haven't used Shmuel in a very long time.
them. Doesn't matter. Your stuff's still there.
I have a lot of stuff. I have a lot of songs that I've sung on Shmuel.
Not even close to. Oh, you are getting closer to me. You're at 673 recordings.
Oh yeah, Chad, you're moving. Chad's moving to
What?
Texas.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
That's sad.
I didn't know it was so soon, Chad. I thought you just like found a place, but I guess that means you're moving soon.
So are you did you find a job out there or are you just staying with Dell?
It's true.
I'll wait on him to respond on that.
100% remote.
100% remote? Then why would you move to Texas?
Because they want to move to the beach.
Well, that probably makes more sense.
We did sing during Pandemic Legacy.
I mean, I loved your house. It was really good,
It's a nice house.
and you made it all perfect for the games.
Beach, and oh my god, Texas is so much cheaper.
Well, it depends on where you are in Texas, but yeah.
It's funny because Tennessee is so much cheaper than Massachusetts.
Oh my goodness. I looked at prices in Massachusetts and I like to have lost my mind. It is so super expensive. Yeah. For like a shack, there's no way you could fit all your games in Massachusetts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
whatever.
Matter of fact, I don't think you could fit. So you couldn't fit them in a house in Massachusetts. You probably couldn't fit them at all in the state of New Hampshire. So
Oh, I could fit
because
them in New Hampshire.
it's that small.
I could fit them
Too
in
many
New Hampshire.
mountains. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why Chad's moving to Texas. More room for games.
That's fair. Running out of room here. No, we got room. It's just a matter of making the room.
How many games could you keep if you would move to New York?
Like
Well,
two. New York
first-
City is just there's no room in New York City at all.
well, first she would have fewer games available because I would take my part of the games and stay here because I would not move to New York. No. No, no,
no,
no,
no, no, no, no, no, no,
No,
no, no,
no,
no.
no.
It's a no, 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 no.
It's a no from me, dog.
Yeah, I wouldn't move to New York. I like to visit New York to go to Niagara Falls every year. That's a different reason, though.
All right, so logistics matter with big collections. Chad is right. When Steph moved down here, she kept her important games that she would never want to lose, and we transported them by car. Everything else we put in bins and we put it on a moving van. And most of those bins broke. Despite not having heavy stuff on top of them, they still broke. So I would recommend to not put anything on in a bin if unless you've got heavy duty bins or you don't mind if it gets a little smushed. So yeah, at least by moving van. And by car, I had no problem.
Yeah.
I'd say about half of the bins broke. Not all of them. Maybe half of them broke.
I have learned that tubs are probably not the way to go. Boxes are definitely moving. Boxes will be the way to pack games going forward whenever
And
we
not
move.
and putting them only a couple of levels tall. Because you don't want to stack them 4 levels tall because you have all that weight on top just pressing down on everything.
Yeah, I know. Chad has rolling carts, which seem nice, like the
Oh
BGG
yeah, those
method.
metal carts are fantastic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good idea. Because I know you had a flooding issue, and then you wanted everything to be above, and
Yeah.
they're
Plus
they're
a
they're
lot it was
really
all on the
nice.
second floor.
And that's
Yeah.
actually probably, something to think about for future, uh, because these shelves aren't gonna last. These black shelves, I don't think they will go through another move. They're just
Well,
beat.
you
They're beat up so bad.
I don't know. I've carried bookshelves from place to place, and I've said several times it won't make another move, and it makes another move. So
So you never know.
they might not make another cross country move.
Yeah, going back
Yeah,
north. Yeah, because they
yeah.
were they were in shambles when I got here. they were. We had to like reconcile. So some of them are double shelves because tops came off or broke, or it just was weird. But some of them I bought used from other people on like Facebook, which you can find some really good deals on used shelves. Your shelves are really nice, so those will hold up for sure.
Yeah. Steph is not using Calyx. I am using Calyx though, and I love my
I
little 2x2
hate
Calyxes.
Calyx.
She
I
hates them.
hate the
I
Calyx.
love
I
them.
hate the Calyx. Uh, no, you. No, you.
I love. So the 2x2 Calyx, right? So I thought about getting a 5x5, a huge 5x5 Calyx. And then the 2x2s went on a much lower sale on one of these IKEA sales. I think I ended up paying, they're normally 35 bucks. I got them for like 20 a piece or something ridiculously cheap like that. Um, so I went ahead and got them because I can actually stack them, 6 levels high. So I can have a big, huge 6x6 for 36 different compartments of gaming goodness. It's so
No, but
good.
it's not
Um,
good because there's like
and they
walls in between. There's so much space that's wasted.
and they are so super light and they organize the games well, and it's so good for especially for someone like me who stores games horizontally, not the barbarian vertical way, because these are not books, these are games. Yeah, you stack them like this and all the components go poof, and crunch
Yeah, but
everything underneath it. They are not
no,
books. Yes.
no.
So, who's with me? Horizontal.
Literally nobody.
Calyx would not be awesome for small footprint games, though. I think they're good for large footprint games as well because they've got an. Calyx has that open back, so you can fit those longer games like Power Grid. You can fit them in. You can fit them in long ways, and so it doesn't have a big profile. Yet it goes all the way to the back of that Calyx on a bookshelf. No, it'd be sticking out like that far. You can't do it on a bookshelf. You can definitely do it on a Calyx. So I think it works for small footprint games. It works for large footprint games, and everything that's huge, like Hero Quest and stuff. I've got them all the way to the top.
Huge, huge.
Love it. Love them.
Eh.
Everyone's laughing. Well, we bag as well, except she like bags everything together, and I'm like,
I agree with Chad. Calyx and Oink games, no bueno.
I don't even. I only know a couple of Oink games. Is Board Gamer Steph modeling for her new bobblehead? I don't know. I hope so. That'd be awesome. I don't even have the stream.
He can't see. He can't see, but I'm like.
All right, I'm gonna pull it up. I'm gonna pull it up. There it is. Your whole Calyx talk, she's shaking her head. No.
I just disagree totally.
What is love?
I do. Let's play a game, Michael. All right, we're gonna be streaming all day tomorrow. Pandemic Legacy. We'll probably be joined by Matt in the chat. So if you want to hang out with Matt, you can come and be spoilered with us and watch us play Pandemic Legacy 0. We'll be around, and then we'll be back Sunday for Michael's birthday bash. We'll play whatever he wants, except Squad Leader.
Except Squad Leader.
Because he's like, let's play Squad Leader. I'm like,
Dude, she'll never play Squad Leader.
So yeah, we will be back. There's always more. There's always more from us. So thank you all for joining in today. It's been a crazy long hodgepodge, but it was still fun.
Yep.
Bye.
Am I on mute or something?
No.
Nobody was. No, you weren't like responding back to what I was saying.
Maybe you didn't. Because, what did you say?
Happy birthday song. I was doing all sorts of stuff.
Oh. Well,
what is my favorite game on Oculus? Oh, see, we're not done. My favorite game on Oculus. So I loved Super Hot VR for as short as it was, but I mostly got my Oculus to play Elite Dangerous. It's a space exploration game. I love it. But I was playing it even before I had a VR setup. So I just sort of transitioned right over to it. I got a joystick in preparation for it and learned how to fly with the joystick before I went into VR. And then otherwise I would have had to have learned how to fly with a joystick and VR at the same time. So yeah. I just recently got a lot of things on sale on the Steam Halloween sale and picked up budget cuts.
Mob Gamer, this is what you did. We were gonna leave.
And budget cuts is really fun too. You're a human who is trying to get out of a company full of robots, and so yeah, it's uses all the VR tools and it's full room everything. So Elite, I can just sit here and play anything out of the room. It gets played in this fine gaming area and it's fantastic. So yeah, let's stop asking questions in chat. Some people like it.
But I want to play a game. It's been like 20 days.
You assume like we're going to play a game right now.
Are we not?
I might have to do something. I got to pay bills. I got things to do.
No.
Oh my goodness. All right, I'm going to go be a slave. I'll talk to you later.
All right, we're going to end and we'll be right back to decide on who to raid.